Oh, yeah. What's the goddamn deal? Welcome to Recognize Real. Got a special episode today. Got my boy Clay. Hold up. I'm rhyming today. How's it going, man?
How's it going, bro?
Hell yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Go ahead and give me a little... Yeah.
Clink.
This is the first time I've drinking all year.
I wish I could say the same, but...
That's true news.
Yeah.
Different spectrums.
Bro, I was fucked on New Year's. We ain't even going to talk about that now.
This is the first time I've drank all year. I'm excited, man. I've had this bottle of Jack since like Halloween last year.
What kind of, is that just straight Jack?
It's like the honey Tennessee.
That shit's good.
Honey. Yeah,
I like it with that vanilla.
With that vanilla Coke.
Before
Fuck
y'all
yeah.
start, since I've known this man, that's his favorite liquor.
Hell yeah.
I got a picture from when he was like fucking 20 years old, opening a box of fucking that shit.
All about that Jack, huh?
That's his shit.
I love
we
Jack,
used to
dude.
fucking kill Jack.
We had bottles of Jack in our first
So
apartment.
I'm like that with rum. I'm big on that Florida de Coño.
Never had it.
That 14-year. They age it, so they have a 4-year, 17-year, 14-year, and a 21-year. Boy, that shit's good. You should try it.
I'm down.
Let me see that poke in the ashtray.
Yes, sir. You need this plate too?
Nah.
I'm gonna give you the plate.
Alright, I don't want this shit.
You already got it on his floor.
Okay.
Okay.
Water, bro.
Okay.
Water's
You need
good.
a grinder? Got a grinder too. I still got all my paraphernalia even though I don't smoke
Little
anymore.
memories.
Hell yeah. Bro, you know what's crazy? That pipe's been in my life longer than most people have. I mean, not the pipe. My bad. The grinder's been in my life more than most people have.
I haven't smoked weed since 9 or 10 years, but I still have my bong from high school.
Hell yeah.
Big
You-
ass.
You ever
big
let
ass
anybody use it?
fucking bong. I let my kids use it.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
Keep the brown bone.
The brown one?
Remember I bought the brown one when we moved in together for the first time?
That's one of the ones we lost at Harvey.
Let me preface
It was like
by,
oranges brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
let me
Lost at
preface
Harvey.
by saying when I let my kids use my bong, they're 18.
Oh yeah, no. Fuck
Put
it.
that fucking shit.
Hey, do you? Why'd you stop smoking?
Work, man.
Work.
Yeah, you know, I was in the trenches forever, and then I got this good job opportunity, and I still smoked when I worked there. Dude, I do like work for the FBI and shit. So
Holy shit.
I would fucking smoke a bowl on the way to the FBI headquarters to go out there and do some fucking work. I mean, it was wild and shit. And
Holy
then
fuck.
You look like an undercover fucking.
Yeah.
Like you've been
Hell
running with the
yeah,
other niggas for
bro.
like fucking years and shit.
that's what's up. Nothing that interesting. You know,
What do
I
you do? What do you do for
I
them?
install anti-terrorism equipment.
That's
so
fucking cool.
like wedge barriers where like the whole road will lift up at like 80-degree angle. It stops 18-wheelers from bum rushing a building.
Holy shit.
Pop-up bollards. So I install them, I program them, work with PLCs, card readers,
Do you
stuff like that.
do you set up like the lasers that people have to go through and like, you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I can.
That's
because
sick.
I do set up lasers like that. They're called photocells.
Mm-hmm.
And I do set up stuff like that. Exactly what that is, I do, but it's not like in a room to protect something. You know, the photocells that I put in, that's what those are called. And I do install those, but those are to protect people, not to
That's
not to hurt
badass.
them.
That's
But,
fucking badass.
Yeah, so I got sent out to Dallas to do this job, and I was on this job, and they randomly drug tested everybody on there, and I got popped. My company was like, dude, like, you
Make a
can either
choice.
keep doing what you want to do, or you're going to do what you need to do. You
Right.
make that decision now. So
Hell yeah.
I fucking quit.
I
and-
respect the fuck out
And
of
I mean, I
that.
smoked since I was like 12, 13 years old.
I respect the fuck out of same.
At
Not 12,
25.
15. Maybe like, I think the first time I ever smoked was in the 9th grade.
I had an older brother. So,
Nice. So
you
he
know,
was
all
like,
my
"Smoke
experiences
this."
were a
Yeah.
little bit too young. Yeah. Yeah.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 38.
38.
Well, I'll be
38.
38 this year.
Oh man, when's your birthday?
December 23rd, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Damn, right
Christmas,
before
baby.
Christmas.
And I have my son. He's 2 days after Christmas.
That's crazy. How many kids you got?
I have 3 bio, and then we adopted my nephew. He was in foster care. My brother was a drug addict. Mom was a drug addict. They did the meth and shit, got their kids taken away, and the whole family came together and got everybody out of foster care, but left him in there. And so me and my wife were like, fuck it, do what we need to do, get him out.
Oh, yeah.
That's rough. I mean, that's a whole story in and of itself, you know, like, it's hard shit.
Yeah.
hard shit for sure. But he's 18. He's alive.
Hell yeah.
He made it.
That's one thing I remember we talked on New Year's, and Eddie knows this about me too. Like you, people who take care of kids like they're your own. You know what I mean? Like I respect the fuck out of that.
Have you seen what comes in and out of my house?
Yeah, I've seen it. You got another my kids.
The whole neighborhood lives in my fucking house. My food bill's insane.
Damn, dude. So, how long you been married?
19 years, man.
Sheesh.
Going on 19 years. Met my wife in high school, and yeah, dude. You know, people say shit about love at first sight, but that's what it was for me. You know, I seen her, and that's with my best friend.
Did shit like slow down and like a song
No,
played?
like
And
I walked in and I seen her, and I was like, when I seen her, I seen a whole future with her. Not like the future that we have. It was just like
Were you on
I could
shrooms?
see. Nah, but I was high. If that counts for anything. But I walked in and I seen her, and I was just like, that's wifey material.
mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even have to have a conversation with her. I just seen her, and I'm like, that's the one. And I was with my best friend, and I walked out of there, and I looked at her. I was like, yo, you see that girl in there? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna marry her one day.
You didn't even know her?
Stupid. No.
That's fucking
He's
crazy.
like, you're fucking stupid. You don't even know her. And this might be a little creepy, but what I did was I found out who her friends were. And I started hanging out with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
I found out she had a boyfriend.
Infiltrated.
So then I like hooked up, acted like I was going to hook up with her best friend so that I could be closer to her. And then I've been on my own since I was a sophomore in high school. So from the time I was a sophomore till now, I've been on my own. And so in high school, I had my own house. And so I invited her and her boyfriend to move into my house because I knew that would break them up. And I didn't want to break them up, but I knew if they lived together, because he's a fucking dumbass, she can get tired of his shit. And then I can swoop in for that kill. That's what happened.
Hell yeah.
Fucking play right into my hands.
Boy, thinking ahead. That's fucking funny.
And here we are 19 years later, man.
Hell yeah.
And I'm still as much in love with her now as I was then.
It's a beautiful thing. So you were on your own since sophomore year?
Rough life, dude.
Man, so you and your parents weren't close?
There was a lot of abuse. A lot of dark shit. I don't want to bring your cast down with, you know.
Shit, hey, this is a real podcast, man. If you want to talk about it, we can. If not, I understand. Bars.
No, I mean, I'm pretty open, you know. Me and my mom are really close now. It's really funny because she lives with me and I take care of her.
I didn't know your mom lived there too.
Yeah, you know, it was more abuse from my grandparents, and then, being locked in closets and like some real physical shit and a lot of mental abuse, and then, the funny thing is, I mean, I got past all that shit. I came out on the other side. You know, I have 3 other siblings, and it's funny because they were all favored and babied, and I was the outcast. Anytime anything was going on that was fun, I was left at home, like all kinds of bullshit. And Christmas time, they would all get like these cool ass gifts. I mean, I even remember their gifts. They got like all this badass shit, and I get like a toboggan and some gloves. And I'm like, what the fuck? One year, all my siblings got something for Christmas from my grandpa who had money, and he didn't give me shit. So I called him. I said, hey, yo, Papa, like, I think you forgot my gifts. And he was like, you're just a greedy little bastard, aren't you?
Damn.
That.
Was it, did y'all all have the same parents? Like, was there
No, I was born out of wedlock. My grandpa was a preacher. I think a lot of it had to do with that.
Damn.
My grandma was very Christian.
That's bullshit, because that ain't got nothing to do with you.
You know, it is what it is.
Man.
Here's the thing, though. I'm grateful for all of it.
Right.
I'm grateful for
Molded
the difference. I'm grateful for the animosity that they had towards me. It really made me who I am today.
It
because
molded you, yeah.
my whole life I strived to be better than everybody around me, to prove to myself that I'm not what they thought about me. And it worked to my benefit.
Right.
The fucked up thing is 2 things. When my grandfather died, I was the only one that went to his funeral. All my siblings that he treated good, I was the only one there, and I was a pallbearer and put him in the ground. And he treated me like shit my whole life. And then when my grandma died, I went over there, and I wouldn't even let the people that came in with the stretcher. I made them. Made her like put her clothes down so they couldn't see anything. I helped slide her up into the bag. I helped pick her up and put her on the little stretcher thing, and then pull them out. Like, I did all that shit for her. And
how did she treat you?
Very abusive,
Man.
hands on, fucked me up. A lot of trauma, but I think when I was 16 years old, she called me out of the blue one time and apologized for everything, and asked me to forgive her, and I did, and so my wife and kids never seen that side of her ever. She was nice and sweet and loving to them, and very doted over them. Probably
trying to make up for it.
She did. She made up for it, and then it was rough with my mom. My mom was a good mom. In many ways, but lacked in many ways. And I think that's a lot of parents can, kind of, go with that. But she's made up and come a long way from that as well.
Let me ask you this. Abused to abused. Do you think the mental is worse than the physical?
The physical... I have scars, but other than that, it doesn't affect my daily life. Whereas growing up being mentally, emotionally, and physically abused like that bad, yeah, I mean, I deal with that every day. I have that voice in my head.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like the voice inside my head is the voice that came from them, that I'm always judging myself. And I'm always... self-conscious, and I'm always because I've always felt like I'm not wanted around, even whenever people don't give me that vibe. If you've ever noticed, when we're all hanging out and I'll come over for a little while and then I go away, that's that voice in my head saying, hey, don't wear your welcome out over here. Like, don't be pressing yourself. They don't want someone all up in their shit. You need to go home. And so then I leave and I go home. So I don't know if y'all have ever noticed that or not.
I have noticed. I never thought of that though.
But you asked me, like...
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree, man. Like you said, it molds you, makes you that bad voice.
The Dark Rider, that's what I call it.
It's loud. It's loud because it got power really early.
Johnny Cash says that shit in one of his songs. Then God's gonna cut you down. He said, Dark Rider. That's what I just, every time he said it.
Time Rider?
Yeah, some shit. He said so. That's what I kept thinking of.
Fuck with that song.
It's a great song.
I pulled that shit from more like Dexter.
Yeah, I know exactly. Hey, Dexter's my shit.
That's what he calls him, the Dark Rider or whatever.
Dark Rider, yeah.
So I'm like, damn, that's.
Did y'all watch the
exactly?
No, I haven't seen it.
I watched a little bit of it. I've been meaning to watch it, but I keep forgetting.
No, but yeah, man. Thank you for sharing that. I was just curious, because I had a lot of mental abuse growing up too. My stepdad, it was a stepdad for me. He was physical too, but I think the mental shit was way worse. Because like you said, I second guess everything. I look for validation elsewhere because I can't give it to myself type shit. You know what I mean? So
no, yeah, I feel you, man.
100% get that, man. It's fucked up.
But that's why, like what we were saying earlier with the mushies, man, that's what quiets everything. And it will keep it dead for a long time. And then...
what's crazy for me is, my experience of mushrooms is, because I told y'all when I go, I dive deep. I take 1/8 to 5 grams. He knows. I like to, and for me, it kind of made me face that voice, made me face that person. Like I've talked about it on here. I was in the mirror in my bathroom, tripping balls by myself. I took like maybe 5-6 grams.
Danger zone.
Yeah, man, by myself. And actually, I think I was hanging out with John, with my roommate, but he didn't take him, and I think he went to sleep because he had to work the next day or something. So I was like, fuck, I'm by myself the rest of the night. And I was in the mirror and it helped me deal with the shit. So I still have those voices, but they're a lot quieter now because of mushrooms. Because that one time me and that dark rider got into it. And I got over it. You know what I mean?
I've had that. I did that experience one time, and it was really, 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 really fucking deep.
Mm-hmm.
Deep, like
crying and shit.
Nah, I was like, it was fucked up. I ate like a bunch of mushrooms with my wife and her friends and everything. And then we're like, all right, well, we're going to bed. And I'm like, what?
What?
We're
You
going
leave me
to bed.
alone with these thoughts?
So all right. So we go in there and we lay down and my wife starts watching this fucking shit on YouTube about like the Hillside Strangler.
Holy
right.
fuck.
And that's on TV and she falls asleep. I'm sitting there like,
oh, fuck.
and I'm like, dude.
Where's the remote?
And I'm like, does everybody have that in them? And like, there's just like one major event in your life that turns you that way? Or is that like something, you know? And I started thinking all this shit. And then I started going deep on myself because I'm like, what if I was like that and I didn't know it?
Mm.
And so then I started going deep. And by the end of it, I like envisioned, this is going to sound dumb, I hate, but like I envisioned like deep inside when I dug deep in me, like a small broken fucking child in the fetal position, like crying. I've never told anyone this. I don't know why.
And the fact that you're saying that is I 100% reciprocate that shit, bro. Like 100. I've even talked about it in my writing. He knows. He's seen the shit. One of my characters, that's one of the things. He's fetal position in the back of his mind, just like this fucking hurt kid. And that's me. You know what I mean? I've definitely. I try to feed that kid though with the Pokemon and with the games, and you know what I'm saying. But
I got a question for what y'all are both talking about. Is that what ego death is?
I never
is
had
that ego death?
So,
you know
this
what I mean?
is what I
like
want to tell you.
Experiencing it all. Because y'all talking about...
I hear people talking about ego death.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing for me, and I don't want to sound, like full of shit or anything, but I never felt like I had the opportunity to even build an ego. I never felt like I was even given... I really was never given the option to be a normal kid, even as a child. I vicariously had my childhood through other children, like my friends. My self-worth was always so low that I don't know if I ever even really had an ego. But I would imagine if there was an ego death, that would be it.
Like what y'all went through seems very, so just from what I'm hearing, it sounds fucking a trip that you have to take on your own. But it seems like y'all came out on the other end different people. And that's why I was thinking maybe that's what ego death is. Because I've never gotten that.
I have a fake ego.
Dog, he's in my head. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Because like my first trip was like that.
You're in my fucking head, bro. That's exactly what this.
Like my first trip was like how, like, you know what I mean? Like that was my like the shit. I was like, damn, I'm dealing with shit. And I had never taken them before, but I guess it was such a high dosage and the timing was right for everything that it just hit. So, is fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Is what y'all went through, because it sounds like it was very personal. It was very dark, and it was hard, but y'all got through it by dealing with it. Is that something everybody deals with when it comes to psychedelics, or is that just someone?
I think that's
in everybody.
I think that's something everyone should do. Anyone that has any type of trauma, exactly. Anybody that has some kind of trauma, they need to do. Even my episode with my cousin, he says the same thing. You take a lot so you can have that, because mushrooms is therapeutic. So if you have that kind of trauma and you take a lot of mushrooms, you know, a lot of times we drink, we smoke, we find all these crutches to not make us think about the trauma. You take enough mushrooms, that shit's gonna be like, I'm right here. You need to deal with me.
Well, it connects all the synapses in the brain and it fires off those electrons.
That's
how you're able to remember things that you don't remember.
Get the fuck out of my head.
Because your brain's firing on all cylinders at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just science.
Stuff that you don't even like. Man, hold on, this happened to me. Like, you know. But as far as the ego death thing, like he said, a lot of my ego is fake. That's why I send you my writing, because I
want to
hear you tell me it's good. But like when I play basketball, maybe not as much now because of my hip, but when I used to play basketball, I had an ego playing basketball. But that's why I like playing so much, because that's one of the only times I really like felt good. You know what I mean?
That's me with my job and being a father and a husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have an ego with my job. I know it's the only thing in life that I'm actually really fucking good at, other than being a good dad and a good husband. I love being the family man. Mm-hmm. Even as a small child, I always envisioned, because I knew I didn't have a dad, and I had a stepdad who was abusive as well. So I always thought to myself, when I have a wife and a kid one day, I'm going to be the best that I can ever fucking be. And it really came down to that. And, you know, I'll backtrack because I wasn't completely honest with you in the very beginning of this podcast. Only because it's not something I tell a lot of people, but he knows. When you asked me how many kids I have, and I said 3 bio and 1 adopted, the truth of the matter is, when I met my wife, she was already pregnant. So my oldest son isn't biologically mine. I don't look at it any other way, though. You know, I changed his diapers. I gave him his bottle. Yeah. I knew what I was getting into when I met her. I knew I knew that. But to me, that's my fucking boy. Yeah, I mean, would you even known that he wasn't biologically mine if I would have told you?
I'm gonna tell you something that I've learned ever since I started hanging out with him in our friend group. Blood don't mean shit when it comes to family. Blood can't make me any closer to this man than I already am. You know what I'm saying? So like I told you earlier, bro, like that's your boy.
You want to hear how it all came out? It's some real shit here. He
this made me want a cigarette. This is a CBD cigarette. Just for everybody out there.
He was acting up in school and shit, and I found out that he had found a picture of his mom when she was pregnant with his biological dad. And I didn't know this at the time, and he'd been wilding out. My mother-in-law told me. And so I came to him. He got in like a lot of trouble at school. And so I came in one day and I told him, I was like, you know, you're acting a lot different. You know, is there something that you want to talk about? And he's like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? Because when I walk out this door, I'm never going to ask this question again. So if there is a question that you have for me that you want to ask and you're afraid to, ask it now. I'm never going to do this again. I think he knew what I was talking about because he was like, yeah, are you my real dad? And I was like, yeah, I'm your real dad. I changed your diapers. I fed you your bottles. I was your baseball coach, your Boy Scout leader, helped you with your homework, ride the bike. Yeah, if you're going to ask me if I'm your real father, yeah, I'm your real father. I was like, did I put you in your mom's belly? No, that was the fucking easy part. Any motherfucker could do that.
Right.
So
right.
You're
it's
damn
the difference
right.
between a dad and a father, man.
And let me tell you, our relationship bonded stronger since that moment in time than it could ever be.
Yeah. That's fucking, I told you, I respect the fuck out of that, bro. Because you could have came into that kid's life and fucked him up, but you did the opposite. You know what I mean? That's just. But to answer your question, I don't really think it was an ego death because I never really had an ego to start with, but it was like a trauma death. It was like when I woke up the next day, I was lighter. I had my chest out. You know what I mean? Like I felt.
Maybe that trauma built a disguise of a fake ego that just you thought you were supposed to portray
right
out in the world.
Right. Oh, I wear a mask.
And you know what I'm saying? And at that point, at that moment, you got rid of the mask. You got rid of like
you and John are like the only two people who get my authentic self. Except for when I'm on this pod, I try to be as real as I can.
That was a revelation what you just said, by the way.
What's that?
That really just blew me away whenever you said it was a trauma death.
Yeah.
I never compartmentalized that to understand what that was in the moment. You know, I just thought it was like me figuring out my shit and then me realizing, you know, like at my core what I am. But no. Yeah, you're right. That was a trauma death.
Yeah, man. I fucking let a lot of that shit go that night. And then later on, with other shroom experiences, I started having those fucking repressed memories and stuff. You know, I even talked about one of them on the episode, him. Just shit, I'm like, holy fuck, that happened. I had to call my mom, like, did this really happen? She was like, yeah, that happened. But she was just a young mother trying to figure it out. I'm not mad at her. I used to be. Me and my mom, that's part of the reason why I moved down here, was I had to get away from her because I was so angry with her. But
so my mom
she was just
abusive.
young, figuring it out herself.
My mom wasn't abusive. The only thing I really held against my mother for so long was that she allowed the abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I've come to realize now is that I was a sacrifice.
Oh, sorry, you already said no.
I was a sacrifice because
Excuse me.
without my grandma and without her husband, then we would have never made it. We were barely making it with their help. And so if we wouldn't have had them, how in the fuck was she supposed to make it? So I was a sacrifice. And that's what I realized whenever
that's
I
like
had
really
that trauma death.
That's like really like a villain origin story. But I also want to backtrack to what you said about the murder thing. Is that all within us and stuff? Mm-hmm. I think it is, but you chose. Remember, you said earlier, I chose to be a better person and not let that affect me. You know, because you could have went left with that and, you know, maybe listen to that evil voice in your head and did evil things. I've been having. It hasn't been happening as much lately. I think I don't know if I talked to you about this shit, but when I stopped smoking and like my mind really started to clear, my dreams were fucking out of control. Really, bro. And a lot of the times they were like first person dreams, and then like when the person would look into a reflection, it was me doing horrible things. And I'm like, I'm not capable of these things, but I'm like, I actually am. We're all capable of horrible things. But I know right from wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie. There's times I've driven and I've thought about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
haven't we all had them intrusive thoughts at some point?
But I don't listen to them. But there's a version. I got it from Doctor Strange, and then like there's actually an actual phenomenon called dream walking, where if you believe in the multiverse, the dreams you have, you're seeing first person view of you somewhere else in another universe. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, that really was. That's why I told you when I looked in the reflection, it was me. That's me somewhere else that went off the rails.
Why not?
You know what I mean? And that shit's fucking scary, bro. But man, because everything you told me, just like I could use that as a villain's origin story, and you would be like,
"Have at it, bro."
You would understand. You'd be like, "Oh man, I get it."
Like, that when you know.
Why do you think everybody likes fucking villains, though, right? Maybe it's just some deep down thought in their head. They're like, man,
that could have been me.
Well, I mean, and then depending on perspective, who is a villain and who is a hero?
Well, that's always the thing about villains. In their perspectives, most of them are the good guys. Like Joker, I think you said that.
I don't think Joker. Joker.
You said besides Joker, Joker just likes like fucking
Carnage,
chaos and shit.
Yeah.
But almost like fucking. From what I understand about Sasuke, wasn't that what part of his deal was? And his brother. Right, his older brother was like, "Hey, I gotta do this shit for a reason."
There's a guy named Pain in Naruto. Do I have a picture of him? I can't believe I don't have a picture of Pain.
Wild
what the
out
fuck?
On Naruto. I mean, I watch anime, but I haven't watched Naruto.
It's homeboy with the orange hair and he's got a bunch of piercings, right? And you're like, man. So Naruto's whole thing is he is good at turning you back. Like bringing you back to the good side.
Right.
And Naruto's like, Pain's only thing Pain's about, he's talking about peace. And Naruto's like, how are you talking about peace and you're doing all this? You're evil. And Pain was pretty much like, do you know the history of your village and why you have peace? Do you know all the evil shit your village did to me? Right? Mm-hmm. And that was one of the first times Naruto was like, oh shit, I don't got nothing to say. because in Pain's eyes, his village was the evil one. And if you look at, and right after that conversation, that's not one thing Naruto's good at. Some fucking flashbacks.
I watched a little bit of Naruto.
So right after they have that, you see Pain's backstory, and you're like, oh shit, I get it.
To be mad at it.
Exactly, I
but I
get
always
it.
felt like people might hate this, but you know The Walking Dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought like, I wonder if you followed Negan from the beginning all the way till the end.
Well,
he would.
snapped, didn't he?
No, what I'm saying is, what did it? I'm talking about this was before the flashbacks and before it got to the end of the season, but it would be the same with him. Like Rick would be the bad guy,
Right, from
Rick
where
would
he
be
started to where
Right.
he beat Glenn's ass.
So if you followed Negan, yeah, 'cause I love Glenn. But if you followed Negan, Rick would be a motherfucking asshole, and everywhere he went, every place he went, he fucked it up. You know what I mean? And if you looked at it from like Negan's point of
Exactly.
view, so you're not gonna come up and fuck my shit up.
Was very capable of cruelty to get whatever fucking point across, right?
Are you
Like,
current? Are you like?
Nah, I stopped watching after Negan.
I
showed
think
that's
up.
when he got
It's over
introduced.
now,
When he
but-
got introduced, is
He
where
would-
It's almost over, right?
Nah, yeah, I think, but Negan redeemed himself.
Yeah, see, that's what from my.
But
I
let's
think
not
you're right
go into
about
all that shit.
you
I
know
think
who's
you're right
another.
about Negan and Rick. Like, if you would have followed the story, like, just if you would have just had the cameras on Negan's squad and all this shit, then yeah, it'd be exactly the same.
I mean, Rick fucked Negan's people up in that building, and that's why Negan did what he
Shit,
did.
that's the
so.
same thing with fucking Last of Us.
Yeah.
You.
I have not. I haven't watched the very
Well,
last.
I'm talking about the
recent
game.
episode. Okay,
In the
game.
second game, you play from the other side's point of view, and then you're like, "Holy shit, Joel's a dick." You know what I mean? You kind of realize like, "Oh man, I'm not really mad at these people." I'm not with her point of view.
With that, Ellie just got to the hospital.
Nah, man.
See, that's
When
how
it
far,
switches to Abby,
Yeah.
that's when the game. That's why the game is so good, because you're like, at the end of it, you got to fight these two people,
It's like one of the one games I haven't played,
bro. Oh my god.
It's a
and I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer, but I haven't played it.
Telling me for like
Last of Us 2.
Wow.
Last of Us 2 is one of the best games I've played in my life.
Damn,
Story
really,
wise.
man?
Story
Story-wise,
wise.
okay.
Man, because it makes you feel for both sides. And when you get to the point where you have to battle, you're like, I don't want to kill this bitch. Because she's kind of right. But you know who's another prime example of that? Thanos.
Oh yeah,
He wasn't evil. He was just trying to bring order to the galaxy.
Nah, fuck Thanos.
I feel you, but when he did the snap, the Earth was in a better place. They had whales in the fucking bay. You know what I'm
It
saying?
would have been better if maybe a quarter.
Nah, man, half.
Quarter of the universe.
Half.
I'm
I'm on Thanos.
That just
I'm on
gives them-
Thanos'
hey,
side,
that
bro.
gives them some time to like, all right, let's plan. Maybe
You
we
call
can
him
do some
evil,
shit.
but we were all.
Just maybe no one we knew about.
The universe was in a better place during those 5 years, and everybody was gone.
No, I feel that. I've looked at
Maybe
that
that's why
point of
Namor
view.
showed up.
Call him a villain. I think they. Side note, I think he might have got snapped, because if he was around, he would have been like, "Yo, what the fuck happened?" He would have came out the water like, "What the fuck is going on?" He had to have gotten
I don't
snapped.
remember any of his. I just know he has something to do with fucking Fantastic Four and the Hulk. Like they all beefed.
So yeah, man. I don't know. I fuck with bad guys because, like you said, that could have been me, and it even the dreams even inspired a story. I'm gonna tell you about it. I haven't talked about it on here yet.
Oh, yeah.
Is this guy gets sober and he starts having dreams, and he's able to pick the different universes and see himself through the eyes of himself. And every time they look in a reflection, he sees where the life went different. So they have to, if they pass a window, see themselves, you see the difference between.
I can dig it.
Yeah, so it's really my life, but it's just like, what would have happened if my mom died and I had to grow up with my stepdad? That's the villain. The main bad is that one, the one where I had to grow up with the stepdad and shit. And then like, what if I never met this guy? What if I didn't like? It's just a bunch of different what ifs.
Great fucking idea. Like that's just that. I got chills though. When you said, I was like, oh, live.
Yeah, nah, it's cool. Like I envision him. He goes to sleep, and then like there's like a universe in front of him, and he can walk through. And then he picks one, and when he picks one, he goes into the first person point of view, of that version.
Does
of
he have
himself.
control?
No, he's just a passenger.
Just a passenger. Okay.
And then he doesn't know where
Do
he doesn't
they-
know where
do
it
they know
goes
that he's
different.
there? Does
No.
Do they know he's even?
No.
No. Wow.
But so this is how I see it. There's his point, and then there's a whole universe right here, and then there's a complete opposite point on the other side. So there's 2 points, and then a bunch of different realities in between. Exactly, in between. So one day he goes all the way through and he touches the other side, and that side he intervenes, and that's when he's like, that's the bad him, the really really bad him. And he intervenes with something, and that time he's like, hold on, what the fuck was that? The him that he intervenes, he's like, what the fuck was that? And then he realizes that he has the same ability too. And he's the bad version. So
it's gonna pop off, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta let me know
He's
when
the
you complete that.
He's the version of him that was raised by his stepdad. The mom died somehow, and he was raised by that fucking asshole. And he's evil. He's the one that I saw in the dream doing all the fucked up shit.
Oh, and you're in real?
Mm-hmm. He's the one I saw. I was like, man, Doc, like, I know I'm not capable of those things.
Yeah, I be having some wild dreams. That,
Man.
I mean, some of my dreams, I don't even exist.
That's why I don't sleep when
It's
I'm
like
tripping.
whatever I'm dreaming, I'm like this reality and who I am don't even exist. I'm like a completely different fucking person sometimes. It's wild.
Man, okay, we got off track.
We did. We derailed.
That's perfect.
Hard.
Can you toss me a fucking High Life going?
Yes, sir.
Is High Life like the Budweiser of Miller? Like Bud Light?
All I know is
Bud Light, High Life is fucking.
all I know is my coffee table was filled with those at my first.
Dude, I like the
apartment.
banquets too, though.
I love banquets.
Fucking banquets make me feel like I can karate chop a motherfucker.
So you kind of answered this question already,
Okay.
Clay, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Bars.
Would you? I'm just here today.
Fucking fuck.
Dude.
It's all good. How would you say your relationship with your parents, step parents, what have you, shaped you as a father? Excuse me.
I don't think it did. I don't think that had any effect on me as a father. You know, I remember I have this very vivid memory of being like 4, maybe 5, in a parking lot, and I like told my mom, like, when I grow up, I want to have like 15 kids. You know, like, I don't know. I think from the time that I was a kid,
You want to be a dad?
I wanted to be a dad. Now the drive from not having. So I met my dad when I was 16. That could derail this whole fucking podcast forever. So
It won't. Let's hear it.
I met my dad when I was 16 years old. That was really weird in and of itself. You know, I lived in Dallas, and he lives out here in Houston, actually out by Galveston. And when they found him, I was like 16 years old. At 16 years old, I left my home for 2 weeks to come stay with this man that I've never met in my life. I have no clue who he is. I mean, that was pretty fucking difficult, you know, and I did it.
Hold on, you said they found him? What do you mean?
Well, I grew up on government assistance, like food stamps, like, we're fucking poor, bro. I'm talking about, like, our shit ran out in the backyard. We didn't have a septic system, you know what I'm saying? And so we were on the welfare, and, you know, the government wanted their money, so they ended up finding him to make him pay it all back. And, yeah, that's how that worked out.
And then when they found him, they put y'all in contact?
And he's well-to-do, you know, so came out here and I stayed with him, and then shit kind of went sideways because my stepmom was like a fucking bitch. Like, so he put me in the spare room, and then her kids came over, and so she kicked me out of the spare room and put me in a cot in the garage. And then, like, the next morning she went out and she, like, got breakfast for everybody, but then didn't give me shit. And I was like, man, this is exactly what I went through with my grandparents as a child. And now I have this fucking woman who I don't even know, because I don't even know him, doing the same fucking shit. And I ended up like that night they had this big party and my dad's in their well to do. So they had like the mayor, they had like all kinds of fucking people coming over to their house. And I went in and I snuck into the liquor. I drank, got fucking drunk. And she come by and she was like, "Are you drunk?" I'm like, "What's it to you, bitch?" And I fucking went off. I took the bottle and fucking tried to break it on the side of the house, but it was too thick. It didn't break. It didn't go as cool as I thought. And my dad's like, "What's your problem?" I'm like, "What's your fuck? You don't even know me. What do you mean, what's my fuck?" Anyway, so that ended, and I went back home. And it wasn't until I moved back out here in my 20s, like 25, and we reconnected. And, the fucked up thing about him is that if I could write down on a piece of paper what I'd want in a dad, it would be him. He is the coolest motherfucker. He's funny, has all the good jokes, has all the cool hobbies, knows everything that I wish I knew. Like, he's a really awesome guy, but he's just real shitty at being a dad. Mm-hmm. He tried to lie to me. He told me for years that he never knew about me, and then I discovered that he did know about me the whole time. And for one, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that's going to lie to me about something like that. Right. I'd rather you be honest. And it's always been a one-way street, that relationship with him. I lived out here for, I've been out here for 13, 14 years. He's been in my house one fucking time. I've been to his house multitude of times, and I was just like, fuck it, dude. Got that shit out of the way. And then my mom, good mom, when I was real young, and then she met my stepdad, and she just changed. My mom, I remember my mom was such a great mom, and I think like kindergarten or first grade, she had met my stepdad, and then she just changed, dude. And she had never... Even after her and him got a divorce, she married another man who I called dad. And he wasn't abusive at all. He was an alcoholic, and he was a little embarrassing at times. But he wasn't a dad either. He just was present and paid the bills and showed me how to work hard. That is what I took from him. The only thing I took from him is he showed me what it is to be a man. And then... they divorced and she moved in with me. And then now, for the first time ever, I'm seeing my mom in the same light that I seen her as a child, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And so neither one of them shaped me for what I modeled as a father. Mine was more TV. Tim Allen, like my head, bro. Seventh Heaven.
I wish my dad was Red Foreman.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
That's
I emulate Red.
Red's the shit.
So my kids and their friends.
He was a little racist.
Nah, I don't go that far.
But he was awesome.
So my kids and all their friends, what you see, but I love all them kids. But I would never tell them that. Mm-hmm. They won't ever know like how much I really care and appreciate for them. I come in, I was like, this motherfucker's here again. I'm like, what all of you ate today?
I got some...
Red fucking Foreman, bro.
My nigga Clay, bro. He's fucking, like you said, he's like Red Foreman at his house. But he's also fucking Thor, because some shit, he went viral.
Right.
My nigga went viral for fucking being a dad, dog, doing what dads do. And that's why I was like, man, you that dude, bro. You fucking rocking as a dad, bro.
What about that kid that spray painted him there?
Duh.
You remember that shit?
Not even your kid, you followed that motherfucker, bro.
Nah, this kid come over and... So my middle son, he's like an entrepreneur. He like and he'll tell you, always looking for ways to make money. And what he did was he started going around spray painting the numbers on the curbs for people and doing all this shit. Had these stencils, different colors of paint. Yeah, did his shit out there. And so he had got done doing he did everybody else's, and I told him, when you get done doing your workload, do mine. And so he did. He went out there and paint. Well, he fucked off. He left all his paint out there, and he went in with his buddies into the house to mess around. And then my youngest son and one of his friends were there. One of them young friends came out. This dumbass picks up the spray paint. We're sitting out there chilling.
I was barbecuing, bro.
He comes out there and starts graffitiing my curb. Like all the way.
Hey,
Not a little.
This was fucked up, bro. I was cooking, and I see this kid walk out, and he stops and grabs the paints. So I'm thinking all the motherfuckers, dipping. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I turn back to sit down. I got no food with me. I turn back to sit down. This motherfucker spray painting shit and walking off. And I told Kyle, hey, I think one of them kids just spray paint on your curb, bro. Thor got, fucking Clay got up, dog. He's like, hey, the fuck, man? And he went and fucking told him, like, hey, can't be doing what fucking got in your head to make you want to do that? He said, you can't come to my house for 2 weeks. He did the dad thing.
I also got the power washer out.
You got the power washer out, bro.
I made him hook it up. And I made him turn it on. He had to work, and I taught him how to use the power washer. So not only did I get onto his ass, but I made it a teaching moment. Like, yeah, you fucked up, and this is what. And I even told him, like, when you do something wrong, you got to do whatever it takes to make it right, and this is what you're going to do to make it right. And I got him. I mean, this is like what? I mean, this kid might be 6th grade, 7th grade. Probably doesn't even know what a power washer is. He does now. Motherfucker knows how to work one now. Power wash the whole shit. And it was done. And it looked good. And I told him, I'm like, yo, you see the difference? I'm like, it's like it never even happened. Because you stay here and you did what it took to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
So, fuck yeah, dude. That's my thing, man.
Fucking Red Foreman / Store.
Hell
yeah. Yeah, Red Foreman was my fictional dad and Vader.
He was a villain in RoboCop.
Vader, I wish Vader was my dad, bro.
Vader.
Listen, hear me out. He didn't know that he had kids, but as soon as he found out, what did he want to do? He wanted to be in his kid's life. That's more than what. That's more than what my dad. That's more than a. You know what I'm saying?
Real tight with the boss. Come on, I'll go take you.
That's more than my dad ever tried to do.
Come with me, man.
Hey, look, he was like, "Come with me, son.
He did go hard.
We will run this fucking universe together." I would have been like, "Fuck you, Luke's a little bitch. Fuck yeah, Dad.
Yeah, let's roll, bro.
Let's fucking go. Hell yeah, bro."
What if?
My dad owns a Death Star, bitch.
Fuck out of the Empire somehow. The Emperor, not the Empire, the Emperor.
They would have jumped his ass.
Palpatine.
They would have jumped his ass.
Cool now.
We're gonna have a fucking barbecue. All you stormtroopers get in here. Have a fucking barbecue.
Have a raffle party at 3.
Hell yeah, bro.
What's the band from the cantina?
I don't even fucking remember.
Jizz. Did you know that?
What's their name?
The name of the music is Jizz.
Bro,
Not
why?
jazz, Jizz.
Why did they? Did you see the remix?
Yeah.
When they added that whole little like
Singer and Jabba the Hutt. It was like James Brown, but not. It's a weird alien.
Yeah, it was some weird alien chick.
Dog.
Have you ever seen that? It was so weird, bro.
This is my theory.
It's like a whole music video.
No, I
This is
never
my
seen that
theory.
shit.
George Lucas, his wife, is black. And someone called him out and said, man, come on, put a little soul in the motherfucker, right? So George Lucas is like, fuck it, we got some aliens. Lando cannot be the only fucking black guy in the entire universe, bro.
No, right?
That doesn't make sense to me.
Until
Finn showed up.
He's the only black guy that meant something. The other black guys didn't deserve camera time.
That's dark shit, bro.
Boba Fett isn't white. That dude's not white.
Polynesian, bro.
That's he's brown.
Fucking Polynesian.
He brown, bro. Speaking of, hold on, while we're on the topic of race,
Black History Month.
you're the only, shout out, you're the second white guest I've had on here.
All right, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
And Clay.
Yeah, fucking
Shout out
Kevin.
Kevin.
Shout out Kevin. Shout out Kevo. Have you met
I don't
Kevin?
think so. No.
Kevin's cool. Y'all probably get along.
I mean, that's cool and everything, but
Yeah, no, I just thought it was cool. Let's talk. I want to talk more about mushies, man.
yeah, let's do it, dude. I mean,
They kicked in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I was sitting like 3 minutes ago, and I'm like, I wonder if he's feeling what I'm feeling right now.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
they
looking at
definitely-
you.
You know
Oh,
how
like,
I
is he
know?
feeling how it's
Because
feeling?
we're on the same. You keep saying things before I say them. That's how I know
Because we're vibing on
we're
that shit,
here,
bro.
man. We're here. Tell me about the first time you ever did a psychedelic. What was shrooms your first psychedelic experience?
Shrooms was
Yeah.
yeah, shrooms was my first psychedelic, and the special thing that I can say about it is that me and my buddy joined a forum called Mycotopia, and it's where it teaches you how to grow mushrooms and everything you need to know about mushrooms. And then they also sell spores. So we did a lot of research. My buddy, he's a fucking genius. Shout out to Casey. And
Come on the pod, Casey.
mm-hmm. And he had ordered some spores. And then his cousin, who's also my best friend, Corey, we all three cultivated and did the whole entire process and grew our own mushrooms, and then tripped fucking balls, me and my wife, and then us three.
How old were you?
And then, 20?
How old were you when you got married?
Me, when I got married, I think I was 19, 20.
Fuck, he was
Yeah,
like,
somewhere.
I want you.
Mm-hmm. We already had a whole life together, though.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we already had a whole life.
Had a son. How old were you when you had your first? I want to continue on the shrimp thing.
So how was I
How
when I
old
had
were you
my
when you
second
had? Yeah,
son?
your second kid. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. How old was I? 21. Because I
after y'all
put
got
my
married.
wife in labor. Because, he's born 2 days after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm born 2 days before. And on my 21st birthday, I got really fucked up. I mean, the most fucked up I've ever been in my whole... I'm talking about army crawling through the yard to get into the front door. I remember I fell asleep at this bar in the bathroom, pissing in the urinal. And my father-in-law was like, I woke up to him like pulling my pants up to walk me out. And I was like, what the fuck? I get out to the driveway and it's all rock. And I'm like, I can't walk that far. But drunk logic, I can run that far. Because if I run, the faster I get to that car, the less chance I have falling fucking down.
That sound like
Bam, nosedive right into that rock driveway.
Shit.
They were like, party's over. Yeah, I ended up putting my wife in labor. Yeah, I was 21 years old.
So you got married first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so y'all grew some mushrooms. You and your wife, and y'all took them.
Me and my wife, and then my. So Casey and Corey. I was basically raised by Casey's mom and dad and grandma. They're all my family, and so like on both sides. So like Corey's Casey's cousin, and even his parent, his dad, and then grandparents. They all love me. That's my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have real direct family, but that is my motherfucking family.
Blood don't make it any closer.
You know what
man.
I mean? And so,
That's my brother.
yeah, that's how it is with me and Casey. But yeah, so anyways, we all ate the mushrooms, and they were Guadalajara Sand Kings. That's what I remember.
Wait, what?
That's what they were called.
Oh,
So they were Guadalajara Sand Kings.
Guadalajara and Santines.
No,
Got you. I thought
Sand Kings.
Sand Kings got you.
Yeah, Guadalajara and Sand Kings. That's what we grew.
I thought the shrooms got me for a second there. I was like, what?
It's really a cool process growing them. Mm-hmm. And what I really appreciate the most is like, you asked me the first time. That's not the first time I ate mushrooms, but that was my first time that I ever tripped. Like that I really tripped was when I did that. So anything before that I ate or drank, I really didn't trip because they were all fucking shitty. And so when I did that, because I mean, I ate the cow shit shrooms and fuck all that stuff, dude. That was not even tripping. That was nothing. Whenever me and my buddies, we grew that shit and we ate them, we tripped our fucking balls off all night. I made up this word. It's called Laughlin.
Was it?
So Laughlin. So I
Laughlin?
fuck with my boys and we're all fucking tripping. I'm like, hey, you got that Laughlin? And I'm like, Laughlin? And then I started convincing them that this was a real thing. And they were tripping so hard because they couldn't remember what a fucking Laughlin was. Side note is, now, anytime I like really trip, I text my boys Lifeline, and they already know what's that.
They know
That's what we refer to
here.
trip. We don't say, "Hey, I'm tripping." We got a Lifeline, bro. I'm on that Lifeline.
My ass would be like, "Oh yeah, that's that fucking acid reflux medicine. I heard that shit."
There's a whole thing.
I heard that word.
It's like you either get it or you don't, and if you don't get it, then you don't know, and if you don't know, it's because you never had it.
Right.
And that's kind of like just this shit. You just keep it going.
You ever had a bad experience on mushrooms? It was like a bad trip or anything like that? Because I don't
think any
consider
trip
the
is
trauma
bad.
death. Exactly. I don't
No
think the
trip is
trauma
bad.
death was a bad trip. It was. I learned a lot. You know what I mean?
They all have there's always a message. There really is. I mean, you're not just tripping. Fuck that. You're not just tripping, and you're not. Everything is a message from the ethos in the universe, and the ethos in the universe is me and in my head. Nothing else exists outside of this. None of y'all do. Like, I'm the one that formulates everything in front of me.
Right.
Like, I know that this is reality. Don't get me wrong.
You're the god of your own universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
And so,
We're all gods.
right. So, if we're going to speak in that manner, every message that I receive or experience or revelation that I have was coming from within me, subconsciously or consciously, and it's up to me to figure what that is, you know, and I got to figure that out. If I have a bad fucking trip, I can't even say that word. I've had really intense trips that I'm like, oh, I feel really uncomfortable. Oh man. And so how I usually deal with that is I created this thing called the cocoon. And so what I do is I get a blanket and I wrap myself in that motherfucker, and I don't come out. That's
You know what my cocoon is?
What's that?
Fucking Pokemon.
There you go. Everyone has a cocoon.
Everyone
Everyone has a cocoon.
boy, and he was playing Pokemon, some form of it.
When we first did acid, tripping balls. Whenever shit got a little too out of hand, I pulled out my DS.
Huh? We did acid before shrooms.
Oh yeah,
and we
dude.
took a huge amount of acid.
A
before
lot
we
of
took
acid. That was
anything,
my
dog,
first
like, it was
psychedelic
crazy.
experience ever. Y'all had done it a few times before me.
I did it exactly a week before with my boy T in Jess's apartment.
Yeah.
And John invited me, and then T gave me some. Then he gave me a hit or two. He gave me 2 hits. And John took. I think John was already on one. Took another one or some shit like that. And they wouldn't. They was rolling, so they went to sleep. They just were coming down, so they went
During
to
a
go chill.
party.
No, so they're like, Jess was like, we're gonna have the UFC fight later on. Y'all just chill. Me and John are on lawn chairs in the fucking back patio of the apartment, and we saw a spider pick a spot for its web, build that hole, catch something, and come down all in one day. Like that was the whole
Live.
process. We were there. We were listening to the Beatles on vinyl, so it was a real fucking.
That was his first time.
It was a picturesque moment of
Right?
tripping.
That was your
acid
first time?
for me. Yeah.
Right.
The next week, he's like, I'm down. John's like,
Now that I think, hold on, I'm not trying to interrupt, but now that I think about it, our 20s was a lot of fuck it.
fuck it.
Fuck it, right?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
about to say. John's like, well, me and you just took some, so because it's still in our system, we gotta take a little bit more. And I was like, all right, I didn't know no better. I was like, yeah, fuck it. And John's like, fuck it, let's do it. We told Jared how much we're taking. He's like, well, shit, I want to make sure I feel it. We're thinking how we should have thought for shrooms. Right? That's how me and everybody's fucking.
You done
always
fucked up.
Dog,
Yeah,
John
fuck
took
boy.
either 6. I think
Ooh.
John took
6.54.
6. I took 5 and he took 4.
I took my first time.
Oh.
First time.
And it
God
was a fucking mess for probably
Man.
the first 2 hours.
24 hours. We tripped 24 hours
I mean,
straight.
how much fucking throw up was involved?
None.
Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody threw up.
I think the
Wow.
only thing we did do, we all got like the nervous shits.
But did y'all? Because I've done this with my boy Shaman. I call him my Shaman because he brought
John
me.
was our shaman. Dog.
He brought me back to life when I was on acid.
Mm-hmm.
Not really,
Yeah,
not really, but it
I
felt
know
like
what you
it.
mean. I know exactly what you mean.
So he's Shaman, and but me and Shaman did this is where we had a trip together. Like we both seen the same fucking. We both seen a UFO. There's 5 of us.
We had a moment.
and we're like this. I'm over here and he's over here, and I see this thing come down out of the sky, and I look over to see if anyone else is looking, and I see him, and he's looking up at it, and then he looks to see if anyone else is looking, and I look at him, we make eye contact, and then we both look back, and then we both look at him, and we're like, and that motherfucker comes down and does like this fucking U-turn, and
fuck yeah,
and then when everyone left, I was like, bro,
it was like, yo, them niggas chilling.
Yo, okay, so we had a couple moments like that.
Yeah.
So the first one, there was a kid in a Tennessee Titans jersey.
Yes.
He had on, was it one shoe?
Yeah.
And then the other sock was a crazy fucking sock. And he had a motorized scooter, but he was pushing that
where
bitch.
were y'all though?
At my apartment.
No, we were outside.
Okay.
All right, so look, this is what happened. We all
If that comes rolling through your room, that's fucking crazy.
This is what fucked us up. So the first 2 hours, dog, everybody was lost. Like, we were fucked. So we all gathered ourselves together, and we fucking synchronized. Like, John, Jared, and me were both, or all three of us were fucking. I took my shirt off, dog. I was on the couch. I was like, fuck.
I was laying on John. Like,
I had my eyes closed, nigga. Fuck. And John's looking at me like, fuck, is this nigga good? And he's freaking out. Jared's like, I gotta breathe, bro. Like, we're just lost in our.
I kept forgetting.
We're lost in our heads.
Yeah, I've been
so
there.
this is what they do. They fucking. We had the lights on. We had too much shit going on. That's what it was. We were watching TV, music, smoke machine, fucking purple lights. Like,
That's too much. That's intense,
So look, we turned the lights on, and that's when we kind of like.
Was it day or night?
It started off in the evening and then went into the next day.
I got up at 2, and then we got home by like 3.
Yeah.
We took by like 3:30.
So we're all getting fucking. We all end up fucking on each other, like holding each other. And we're like, we're good.
Holding on for life.
Hey, dog, and we all told each other we took something. We're tripping. This is what we're supposed to feel. We all got each other. I got you. We all said, I got you, my nigga. You got you, I got you, I got you.
What a great feeling, too,
And
though. You know,
so,
when you have that support, too.
So safe.
We're like, tried watching TV we're all on the same page. We kind of voted on everything we did for a while.
Good.
Let's watch TV. All right. Let's watch this. And we watched Dexter's Laboratory episode, and it was fucking sad. We're like, fuck this. Then they put on
Damn,
Workaholics.
Dexter?
And you're thinking Workaholics, you gonna laugh your ass
That would
off.
be some funny shit, right?
Bro, we couldn't make fucking sense of what they were saying, and it would just look so aggressive to us. We're like, we gotta turn it off.
Gotta get back to cartoons.
So then we got up, and I was like, man, I gotta breathe. I feel like I'm stuffy. It was stuffy in the apartment. We went and sat on the porch, on the patio for probably till sundown, bro. So till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It was at nighttime when we went back inside, but that's where he fucking was talking about where that little dude.
We were on the patio.
He didn't finish what he said because our patio is open. It's right on the sidewalk. We're on the first floor.
It was right by the exit gate too.
So it was action.
Got you.
Friday night, people coming in and out, walking by because ours.
Still sensory overloaded.
So we were all good. He had his fucking Game Boy. He was playing Pokemon. I think John was playing music.
How can you play a Pokemon when you're tripping?
Bro,
I can't even look at my phone.
Hold on, there was a point. It was in one of the new games too. I'm playing that shit, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, good job!" to my Pokemon, and that motherfucker looks back at me and like winks at me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I said, "Oh shit!" I put that bitch down. But then, like, the next day, I found out that that's an actual feature in the game. I was like, oh,
that's pretty good.
Fuck, dog. It was funny.
That's pretty good.
So, the little kid fucking rolls by pushing a motorized scooter, one shoe.
He had a dog, too.
He had a little white dog.
Oh, shit.
He goes one way, he goes this way, and then, I swear, right? It just fucking rewinds, and he does it fucking backwards.
Bro.
He's going backwards.
The dog's going backwards?
Everything.
Oh,
then
wow,
it's
dude.
the kid, the dog, the scooter just rolling backwards, and then fucking comes back again, dog. Jared's like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, I know, I just seen that dude.
That
bro.
was a Matrix
like,
glitch.
Hey, and then the dog ran up on
then
us.
The dog, he comes around, and he's walking his dog, and fucking the dog jumps at it. It's just like it was one of them little fluffy white dogs.
Yeah, a little bitch.
So we're like, we need to know what's real. I was like, I need to know. And Jim's like, fuck it. John's like, yeah, dog, we gotta make sure, we gotta touch something tangible, some shit like that. I say, if we walk across the little street, we have a speed bump. If we walk across this street and touch that wooden fence, then we know that's real. Then we know where we're at. We know we're here.
Damn, y'all are deep, bro.
The fence is like where the door is.
Bro, so imagine we're all three big ass dudes just fucking in line. And we all touch the fence and we rub it. And I'm like, you feeling this, dog? And John's like, hell yeah. And Jared's like, yeah, dog, it's here. It's fucking here.
I would have paid money to be there for that shit.
Look, so we walk back and we fucking go and sit down again. Imagine all the other fucking people outside looking at us three doing that weird
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. I would have paid money to be there.
Oh, man.
But the rest of the night after that was a fucking blast.
There was another time before all that happened where I look over at Eddie and I'm like, hey, bro, you good? And he's like, yeah, you good? I was like, man, I'm trying to be like you. And Eddie was like, I'm trying to be like you. And then John was like, I was trying to be like both of y'all. So I was like, okay, we're good then. I was like, everybody's good.
Have you ever got caught in a cycle?
No.
I have.
That sounds scary.
You know what?
No, it was fucked up.
Maybe I don't think it's a cycle. You have that video of me fucking posting up on the wall.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And then the dude, remember you fucking passed the blunt to somebody.
Oh right, that was kind of.
He rolled the blunt, and that blunt was fire.
That's kind of scary. Okay, I'm gonna tell the whole thing. So I rolled a blunt. I think I've talked about this on the pod, but fuck it. I rolled a blunt. Right. I think you were smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And John wasn't smoking at the time. And I looked at John. I'm like, bro, this is the best blunt. Have you ever rolled on acid?
No.
It's hard. The weed's jumping out, and like everything's moving.
I could totally
and I'm like,
imagine.
fuck. So it took me like 30 minutes to roll this blunt. And I told John, I was like, this is the best blunt I've ever rolled in my life. Right? Not even a minute later, this dude comes in from his cigarette. I'm smoking it, and I pass it to him. I don't even say anything. I pass it to him, and he hits it, and he's like, this is the best blunt I've ever smoked in my life. We were in sync, bro. And I forgot where I was going with that.
We're talking about the cycle.
I passed the blunt to him. I don't remember. What
I was sitting on the couch next to him. He's playing his Game Boy.
Oh, got you. Okay, so I'm playing Pokemon, right? And the whole time I'm playing, I'm like showing somebody like, oh, this is dope, blah, 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 blah. There was no one else there. Like, Eddie was sitting over here, John was sitting over here, but I could have sworn there was somebody watching me play. I tried to pass the blunt to him and everything, right? And later on, we're all chilling. I think we were watching Scott Pilgrim. And I was like, yo, what the fuck happened to the other guy? And these guys were like, what the fuck are you talking about, GB? Like, what other guy?
I'm talking about a legit cycle.
No, I didn't know if that's what you meant. Like,
I'll tell you, I got caught in a bad cycle one time where...
That sounds scary.
Well, you don't realize it when you're doing it. That's the whole point of the cycle.
Gotcha.
I'm sure there's some people who do, and that would be fucked up. But for
I would
me,
think you were fucking with me.
No, it was just me. I was in bed, and did some hardcore. I don't fuck with acid anymore. I won't ever touch it ever again. Ever again.
I want to.
But I went in and I got like a cup of water, right? At this point in time, I'm tripping so hard I can't comprehend conversation. So like when my wife or my friends were talking to me, I'm like, I don't know. I can't. Yeah, I can't comprehend anything. So I go in and I get this, and my mind's melting. You know, I got in the shower and I like put some conditioner in my hand, and I didn't even know what, I like took it and I was just like, and then just got the fuck out. I got out. I didn't even dry off. I walk out butt naked, soaking wet. Luckily, no one was in my room but my wife with just this glob of conditioner in my fucking hair. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Fuck yeah.
And so, anyways, she helps me out big time. But I would go in, I'd get a drink of water, and I'd go back to the room. I watch all this on camera because I have a camera in my kitchen. And then I went back in there, got a whole nother cup of water, drank it. By the end of it, I had like 8 cups, and I drank so much water that a projectile vomited.
Holy shit.
Everywhere. When I was tripping, when I projectile vomited, my wife come in there, and I'm like, am I filling up the kitchen? Because I'm like, the water level was just fucking rising. In reality, it
was just
wet.
Bro, acid is
I
fucking hell of a drug.
touch it no more.
I want to do it one more time.
What'd you say it's called, bro? Like, how'd you explain the difference between acid and shrooms?
Oh, I said that shrooms is like you're in the passenger. You're on a road trip. Shrooms is like you're in the passenger seat controlling the music.
Right.
Acid is like you're in the trunk and your brain's driving drunk.
Now you're being dragged by the back of the fucking truck by a rope, and you're just hanging out for dear fucking life.
I don't know if I've talked about it on the pod, but I'm gonna talk about it with you. I'll tell you why Pokemon's my cocoon, because something crazy happened in this room. You weren't there. It was my roommate and my other friend Rilo. Right, we're all doing shrooms. We took a lot. We took like 4. And in retrospect, we shouldn't have gave Rilo any because he was having a baby like the next day.
That's too much.
Yeah, so he was trying to hang out with the big dogs, and everything was good, bro. We're laughing, we're having a good time, and then this fucking song comes on, and let me tell you why Pokemon's my cocoon, man. I'm fucking playing Pokemon on my phone or on my Switch, or I don't know what I had at the time, but it doesn't matter. I'm playing Pokemon, and this song comes on. It was called The Whipping Post. Great song.
Allman Brothers, right? Or Doobie Brothers.
That sounds right. The first one. What was the first one you said?
Allman Brothers.
That sounds right. So me and my buddy Rilo have tripped me and him before. And he liked to go in my shower because the acoustics in my shower are fucking amazing. Because I got the Alexa in there with the speaker and all that shit. I thought nothing of it. The song's playing, we're all quiet listening to the song, and I'm like, man, this song's fucking kicking my ass. It's like a 7-minute song. Yeah. This song's fucking kicking my ass. And I'm playing Pokemon. And then John's like, hey, bro, check on Rilo. I'm like, man, he's good. He's good. Because I'm used to him being in the shower jamming. And John's like, man, check on him, bro, please. And I'm like, man, he's fine. And then, like, right when John starts, like, tripping about that, there's a fucking slam in the shower. Right? Like something fucking slammed the door closed. And then Rilo comes out and the song stops and John and Rilo start talking about a demon. There was a demon in here. And they both, the crazy thing was, John said, did you feel that? And then Rilo was like, you talking about the demon? And they knew, and I'm sitting here like thinking I'm tripping. Because I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I was fine because I was fucking focused on my Pokemon.
And that totally fucking threw everything off.
Man, it was like I looked down and I look up and the fucking house is on fire. So them two start fucking freaking out. And you know what? Speaking about loops, Rilo went into a loop. He started saying the same thing. Baby tomorrow. Gotta keep the baby safe. 23 years old. Baby tomorrow. Gotta keep the baby safe. 23. He that's all he said the rest of the night.
He got caught in a loop, bro.
Yeah, he broke. He broke.
Were they feeding off of each other? Or?
John was okay. John was here. We could talk. I even told him, go get your shit together. I'm going to take care of Rilo. And I'm fucking tripping balls still. I was like, go get your shit together. I'm going to take care of Rilo. He went and took his shit together. He got his shit together. He called his girl at the time. I was like, please come. We need somebody sober here. Right? So she came, and that was great because that nigga Rilo was on. We brought him downstairs. He, like, went into the garage, sat in the car, and we go and look, and this nigga's in the fucking car just like this. Like, damn, get out the car, bro. We get out the car. He fucking spills milk all over the place and shit, all over me. So luckily, Shorty came over.
Fucking milk, bro.
You know what was weird? The electronics stopped working. We couldn't get the TV going. We couldn't get phone out. Something was
y'all
here.
Tripping, or was that something?
I think something
energy was really
in
the area.
Years later, this nigga Rilo admits to us that something approached him in my bathroom and offered him because Rilo at the time was trying to make it big in the NFL and shit. Well, football period. Offered him all this football shit and a healthy baby and all this shit, and offered him all this shit and. Pretty much, I guess John was like, go check on him. Go check on him. That fucked everything up, and that's why it slammed the door.
And maybe John fucking knew. Maybe he felt like...
He did. He did.
You know, because we're all connected.
Exactly.
You
and
know?
I'm sitting here on my Pokemon safe in my cocoon, You know what I mean?
Lock.
Just fucking nut. All my energy's good. You know, nothing's getting in here. But I think that's because Rilo said it got mad and slammed the door on him, and he tried to get out of the shower and it wouldn't let him out.
That's wild.
So
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. So I was like, man, that's fucking. Oh, the only bad experiences I've ever had on shrooms with other people. That's why I like to trip on myself now. I don't even think I've ever told you that. That's why I like to trip alone. Because now when I trip with people, because I've been told the same thing that I'm a shaman and I've gotten people through. Like I've done shrooms with girls and stuff. You know what I mean? I've gotten people through the shit. But since I have that title, if I'm tripping with people, I can never fully let my mind go because I'm worried about you.
No, I feel the same way.
That's why I like to trip alone.
But I'm the guy I'm always the guy that's like, hey, let's get things right here. Just take this. And so I always feel like I'm responsible for everybody that I give something to. Mm-hmm. So I can't ever just like in this moment I can. It's just me and you. But if it was like a big crowd, and you've seen how I do sometimes, then I don't. I'll actually take the smaller amount than everybody.
I feel like I waste it because I'll take just as much as everybody, but I won't let it. I won't let because you know how there's a point in shrooms where you're kind of just like, all right, let go. And you just let it take you. I won't let it happen when I'm with people because I'm so worried about them. Mm-hmm. You know, what's up?
That's my favorite part.
When you just let it happen, you just let it take you over. And when I'm with people, I can't do it.
And you just, like you say, you go for the ride, man. Can we take just a second break? I need to take a fucking piss, bro.
Do your thing, bro.
Okay, cool.
Shit, hand the mic to E. Me and you keep it going.
Yeah, y'all chop it out, bro.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man, say, man.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ, that hurt.
I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah, dog, I don't know if John ever told you about that shit with Rilo, how he came out and told us.
He had told me about, John told me about his shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, nigga, that's what they're for, bro. That's not what they're for, but like, shrooms are like you break barriers.
Exactly. The plane is a little thinner whenever you're on that shit. That's probably what happened that night when because there was someone there, bro, to me.
I mean,
it wasn't nothing bad or anything. The nigga was playing Pokemon with me. You know what I'm saying?
Depending on what you believe or how things are for you personally, like anybody, it could be a guardian angel. It could be someone who passed away in that apartment and just was stuck there and was like, hey, y'all. Because y'all didn't. He's like, shit, pass me that shit.
Y'all didn't feel anything bad until I said something. Y'all didn't even feel it. So that was probably just for me.
When I first tripped, I was seeing. Remember when Matt and Alyssa had that fucking bush, that tree? Mm-hmm.
That bitch.
When I was in the restroom, in the hallway in the restroom, trying to decide what the fuck am I doing, you know, I was seeing fucking little monsters in that tree, and I was scared of that shit because they were so close to everybody, and I was like, I gotta fucking be ready. I can't let this shit. I can't let go of being in control. If I see those motherfuckers, I don't want nothing to happen to anybody. Mm-hmm. That's what I was fighting, but I translated it to me being. Those are my anxieties that I just be worried about. Those are the problems. That's nothing. That's not nothing. If I let go, I'll be able to deal with it. Me trying to hold on control that's what's giving it power and strength. Whatever the fuck I was seeing. It was just anxiety. Like anxiety's my thing. I'm gonna face that shit. I'm doing better about it. But that's what I think. Shrooms are the fucking mental health drug. Like he said earlier. Mm-hmm. I think even.
It's been proven help depression.
I just heard
addiction.
a country maybe Australia.
Let's go.
Google it.
Nah, there's too many fucking fucked up animals. In
it's
Australia.
Something about they're prescribing. They will legalize prescribing shrooms as a mental health therapy or session or medicine for it, which is cool.
In Oregon.
Oregon. It's Australia. I said Australia, Oregon might as well be the same thing, honestly.
Australia got too many crazy animals, and my ass is gonna try to pet them shits.
Somewhere else too, and I think New York is really coming up on that shit too.
It's so good for you. I feel like it's illegal because they know it breaks that barrier down.
I mean, you know, when like,
do you think it's illegal because they know, or do you think it's illegal because
they can make money off it?
Yeah,
I think it's illegal because.
If half them motherfuckers did that shit.
They don't want us to be healed and spiritual.
Or even if they did it. They
right.
can't do that shit. Not with the conscience that they have. Like, they couldn't live with themselves if they partook in the shit that we do. Like if I was like, fuck it, Trump or Biden or anyone, because I'm not side with any of them crooked ass motherfuckers. They ain't done shit for me, and I don't know them. But the deals that they made and things that they done, if they hate this shit, they wouldn't be able to live with them. Imagine their ego death.
Mm.
Deep.
Mm. They would probably do a lot more with their money than what they do.
Fuck yeah.
I know for a fact if I ever get a lot of money, I'm gonna definitely vacation and probably get me some land and stuff. But most of that shit's gonna go to the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Been used as medicine for years across different, like hundreds of thousands of different people.
I want to do peyote.
The world and shit, you know?
Peyote and DMT.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, and ayahuasca. Is DMT and ayahuasca the same thing?
Well, no, they're
No.
not.
Well, those are on my drugs.
Ayahuasca's a tea or something, right?
Those are on my drugs to do list.
DMT is derived from.
Bring it a little closer. I can barely hear you.
Tree bark or some shit.
Yeah, it's from the
If
root.
you want, you can take it off the thing and like.
What's freestyle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can hold it if you want to.
Yeah.
Perfect. That can be great.
DMT comes from the root. I'm like tripping a little bit, so I'm trying to really think of the. I have one. I have one in my backyard.
I'm trying to. That's the ego death. I hear that's the ego killer. Is the
Yeah.
DMT. At least that's what Mike Tyson says.
It just depends because I've done DMT, and I've friends that do DMT, and you're not always going to have an ego. You're not always going to go talk to fucking aliens or see the doors in the tower.
That's what I'm trying to
You
see.
know,
I'm trying to
like-
see the prisms, man.
like see the All Mother or anything like. I mean, yeah, like you might shoot off. Most people do, but that's not your experience every single time. But yeah, it comes from the man. I cannot think. DMT comes from the root of a. I keep trying to say crepe myrtle, but it's not a crepe myrtle. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Whereas,
They be farming that shit in Mexico.
mm-hmm, yeah.
So, I saw a Vice fucking you dog. I saw a Vice documentary about DMT, and I feel like they get whatever.
Dude, if I was sober, I could go all into this fucking shit. I don't even know right now.
Fuck it.
Because I've read a lot about this stuff, studied it with my buddies and shit. But yeah, yeah.
I'll do some DMT, man. But yeah, that's the only. But what I just told you was the only time I've ever had a bad experience on shrooms because I had to deal with them niggas.
Yeah.
I feel everybody should have a fucking bad experience on it. Not like go out and purposely do it, but like when you do it, just appreciate.
I've had really intense, uncomfortable feelings where I'm just like, it's too much.
Right.
It's too much. It's too much.
I've had that before too. And that's crazy is I've had that around these guys before and they didn't even know, but they brought me out of it just naturally.
So what's up with the Pokemon, man? I mean, I hear you refer a lot to Pokemon.
I love it.
Is that like
I was playing when you got here.
but I mean, are you talking about like Pokemon and Game Boy Advance that far back?
Oh man, I've played every game except for maybe like the black and white games. I played every game. Game Boy Color.
How old are you again?
Advance. I'm 31.
31.
Game Boy Color, Advance, the SP, to the DS, to the Switch. I'm a Nintendo.
Could that
boy.
be traced back to like some shit when you're trying to
Probably.
fucking tune out and unplug?
Definitely.
Disassociate?
It's my safe place, man. Fucking Pokemon. I'm obsessed to this day. I love it. I got a poster over there. I think I don't know which one. I think I might get rid of the Joker one and put the Pokemon up.
There you go.
I've had that since the first apartment. I think it's time to retire him. Maybe put him in the office. But there's just something about, I don't know. That, like, if people always say, if you could live in any anime world, Pokemon, easy.
It's funny that would be your cocoon because I never really thought about it till now. I think mine's like darkness. And I think that I could trace that back to from when I was a kid, is being alone in the dark. And I was like, I always loved the dark.
Always.
I've always loved being alone in the dark because I knew that nothing could hurt me there. You You know, and I know where it stems from psychologically.
That's why I wear these shades, because that's even too much, man.
Yeah.
That's so much.
I was worried about that. I had to and then when you call me, you're like, hey, bring some shades. I'm like,
it helps, man.
that can totally like fucking, that's perfect, man.
I feel like during the day when the sun is out, I'm always like this.
Yeah.
Cause this,
Yeah.
Cause the sun is so fucking bright, dog. I'd much rather be in the dark. I'd be like, I'll go to a girl's house or something, and she'll turn the lights on. I'm like,
Stop.
God damn, turn that shit off. It's so fucking bright. I love the dark,
Feels
man.
on that shit for sure.
You have you ever had any? Oh yeah, go for it, bro. You want a brewski, broski?
Yeah. I fucking spilled.
We get one too.
Blew up and man.
We got one already.
I had a chug.
Appreciate it.
Get me one of these too.
What's happening?
You ever had any supernatural experiences? Actually, I think you showed me a video.
Oh shit! I forgot. Yeah.
Let's not even get started on
No,
that
let's
shit,
get started,
son.
because that was a trippy experience, but now I know that it was a supernatural experience with what happened. And I even told him, I was like, bro, do that shit in your own, conjure demons in your own fucking bathroom, dog.
Right. Oh, is that what you told me? How great. I love that.
I was like,
love that.
why do you do that shit in my fucking bathroom? Now I gotta go sage that
Here,
bitch. And what's crazy is my cat, after all that, bro,
Yeah.
she would come in here and go right to the bathroom, into the shower, sniffing around.
My wife.
She'd be like, wow. Like, holy.
Years.
Huh?
You ever sage this motherfucker?
Oh, I said we sage it all the time. I got sage. Yeah.
My wife has had something that's followed her around from the time that I can remember.
Bad or- was it good or bad?
Attested by multiple family members and friends who have seen some wild shit. I mean,
Around your wife, or
even the
just-
stuff that the video I showed you about in my house,
Mm-hmm.
with that fucking orb coming through and then knocking on my. You remember? I showed you that. I mean,
yeah.
it's so. I'm so unfazed by it at this point. I mean,
still goes on?
Just like if you were to watch that video, you would almost think it was fake. Because did you notice how you hear the bang, 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 bang on my door, and then I walk out, and then I realize I'm there alone, and then the reaction I have is, "Fuck you too, motherfucker." How many people, when they like encounter like some crazy shit, that would be? That's just how conditioned I am.
Did it react to that?
Well, you seen the orb, and it flew into the camera, but
That was
but
two different
physically-
videos, right? Or was that one
No,
video?
that was all one video.
Oh, shit.
That was all one video.
Just got goosebumps.
You gotta link the motherfucker.
So, but it can't be bad. If it's been around that long,
No,
it
I
can't
mean
be.
you can feel it sit on the end of the bed, like when I'm ready to fuck sometimes. So that's bad.
He's like, hell yeah, get it, boy.
Get the fuck out.
He's like, get it.
Say whatever the fuck. He's been playing with that beer, bro. The second one did the same shit and fucking sprayed everywhere on my leg.
Nah.
Wait, what?
The fucking beer.
Because of the ghost?
Yes.
Yeah. So like her hair
Where's my sage?
in front of everyone, her hair's just been like.
Has she had
picked
anyone
up
close
and
to her
dropped
die?
Like that.
Is it like
Well,
a
I mean,
sister?
yeah,
or-
like she's had several people that are close to her die.
Is she Hispanic?
She's Iberian, and she's Jewish.
What's Siberian?
Iberian.
What is that? I've never.
It's Spanish. It's Western Europe, far West Europe.
Okay.
So it's more Spanish. She's Jewish, and so that's where a lot of the Jews went. I mean, her great grandma was in the Holocaust camp and shit like that.
So, I mean, if you're still living with it and it's been around for a long time, then it can't be nothing nefarious. I definitely believe in spirits, but I think there's good and there's bad. And sometimes the good ones just want to be around good people, man.
I've never saged my house, and even whenever I would tell them some of the crazy things that have happened, or like when I show them that video, they're like,
And you trip
I don't
there
know
all
if
the
it was
time,
you
right?
or my wife's friend, but they were like, "We need to sage the house." I'm like, "Why?"
No, if
I don't
it's
want to
fun,
sage it.
that might just
Like I
piss
would
it off.
I would feel a negative. I felt negative energies. I've lived in a rental home that had some crazy shit that is completely different than that. I felt
Violent stuff?
nefarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about my sister, and then another on two separate occasions woke up in the middle of the night. We wouldn't even stay in the master bedroom. we stayed in the master bedroom, stayed empty. I think a motherfucker died in that house. And not only did my sister, but on a whole separate occasion, I had a really close friend stay in the same room, and they told me the same story. They wake up in the morning, they're like, I'm never sleeping in that room again. I'm like, why? And they're like, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was an old man staring into my face.
Fuck no.
Yeah. Fucking, you would see like shadows under the door. All the cabinet door, almost like in Poltergeist, what you would see, like the cabinets would all be pulled out. One time, I don't remember. I don't think someone was in the kitchen and a knife flew off the fucking counter and like hit the wall across. Like, my wife has video of like the ceiling fan wasn't on, you know, and it wasn't the AC or anything. And that motherfucker would start swinging like this, and the blades like the tip of the blades would hit the ceiling on each side.
Holy fuck.
I've felt nefarious shit. I've seen.
And you don't feel that in your house. Because I was going to say, you've tripped at your house.
Multiple times.
And we were just saying while you were in the bathroom, when you take any type of psychedelic, the plane is thin. So if you've taken shrooms and nothing's fucked with you, I think you're good, bro.
No, I'm not even worried about it.
I've had supernatural experiences, but it was always like when we did the acid, it was just a presence, and it was never nothing bad. It was just like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Just letting you know. All right, cool. I'm going to keep playing fucking God of War.
You know, I feel it. Like, I can dig it for sure.
I don't know. I think spirits get a bad rep, especially with them fucking Mexicans. They don't fuck with them. They get a bad rep, bro.
Yeah,
Sometimes they just want to be, hey, I'm here. Cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's some assholes too. Sometimes there's some bad ones.
You need to go and get now. Go to where you supposed to be. I've seen some shit, especially in my mom's old house.
Yeah, I remember us having that conversation.
Yeah, you were telling me, and I was like, yeah, dog, my mom's old crib, there was an old dude, it was an old neighborhood, and I always believe that there was some, like, old dude that lived at that house at one point, because I saw him, I think my brother seen him, I've heard people fucking screaming. David, this was at my mom's house, and, like, you'd hear footsteps upstairs, no one's home but you. David's toys in the closet used to go off on their own. Like, they'd be off. Like, he didn't use his closet for clothes. He put all the toys that he got, and they're all sitting in the closet in, like, boxes and shit. And one toy, it was a fucking, what do you call it, the Zoids, the animal. He had one of the white tigers that if you pressed it, I remember, it has a switch where, like, you turn it on or you turn it off. Yeah. His shit was always off. And in the middle of the night, that bitch fucking went off and started roaring and lighting up. And David being fucking David was like, fuck it, dog. I'm just go. I mean, it wasn't. That's what my brother was like. What the fuck am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? He went to sleep, man, and that was it.
It was probably a little kid. Like, oh man, these some dope ass fucking toys.
We didn't like that place, dog.
I believe it.
Me and David specifically saw a lot of shit. We've seen a lot of shit there. Experienced it, like banging on the fucking window.
Yeah, I've been
that
there.
Happened to my brother. Like, don't. He was doing his homework by the desk, and his desk was in front of the window. And he was like, don't. He's like, what the fuck? He thought someone was fucking with him. No one was home. No one was around. No one was near.
Happens a lot.
Can I tell you something funny that happened like 2 nights ago?
Here?
Yeah.
Where?
It wasn't anything like supernatural. Just.
I was about to say, whatever it is.
No. It happened like 2 nights ago. I got up like 2 a.m. to go take a piss, right? And then I come I come out, I'm about to get in bed. I check to see what time it was. And so Cora wasn't the puppy wasn't sleeping with me. She was with John. And I guess like she was like, I'm gonna go upstairs with this dude. I didn't hear her come in. So she comes in. I'm sitting here checking my phone, and she just licks the back of my knee. I said, I screamed like a bitch, bro. And she scared the shit out of her. And I was like, fuck, you know, like you gotta, because she usually busts in here. Like for some reason that night, she was like, I'm gonna be quiet.
Maybe he's asleep.
Man,
nice.
she just licked the back of my leg, and I
yeah.
almost fucking punched her. Like,
She'll be coming in the room early as fuck in the morning, late at night.
I miss it.
And she'll have fucking hair all over her face.
oh, I've seen her do that. It's creepy.
And she'll come in, she'll be like, Mom. And this is how I wake up. Because Selena's doctor's like, oh, shit. Selena, what the fuck, dude? Because you just imagine a little girl in the middle of the night, just hair in her face. And Selena's like, can I sit with you? And then she asks, but she gets in. She's like, no matter what you say, it's going to happen. But... fuck, the dog licking the back of the knee is terrifying.
Bro, scared. I jumped. I screamed. I'm surprised nobody heard me. I was fucking terrified.
If you're not fucking focused on that at all, and that part gets licked, what?
That's what I'm saying.
Scared this shit. I screamed like a little bitch, dog. She got scared. She thought she was in trouble in her room.
If we're talking about supernatural, have you never been touched by like? I have twice.
I've woken up to like nudging.
Okay.
But it's crazy because it happens like right before my alarm clock goes off. Something like that's happened to me my whole life though. Something's like, hey, right? Mm-hmm. I felt like, you know how you said you felt something sitting on your bed?
Like sleep paralysis?
No, I've never had that, but I felt like
I recently have.
You know how your cat comes and like lays on the pillow,
yeah,
or like on your sheets.
Yeah.
I felt that, thinking it was my cat, but nothing was there. I felt something sitting here in this house, but like I said, I don't think it's anything bad.
I just recalled in the house that I'm in now. Because I was going to tell you like 2 times. One was like I got my ass slapped while I was in the shower, and I had shampoo. I had shampoo in my hair, and I thought it was my wife. So I come out, and I'm like, because when I rinse, and I was like, hey, and there was no one there.
Amy like, watches you while you're trying to fuck too. That's something.
And so, and then another time, I was making fun of my friends. My friends' aunt died, and I gave him like a porcelain doll or something, and I was talking shit. I was just like a 15-year-old kid just talking shit, you know, just whatever. And so when I come through, like I felt like 2 fingers on and it like shoved my fucking head like this and made me look at that
shut
doll.
The fuck up.
The doll that she gave him that I was making fun of. Anyways, none of that, dude. I forgot that. Not even but a few months ago, I woke up in the middle of the night. Man, I don't know if this is what a night terror is. I felt like a demon was trying to possess me. I felt like I was in a fight of my life. And I was like laying there. And I was like trying to get my wife. I was
any
awake.
Psychedelics involved?
No.
Oh, shit.
No, because I live my life mostly sober.
Right.
So I don't really drink a whole lot. I don't smoke weed at all. And then when I eat mushrooms, it's not all the time type of deal. So I live most of my life fucking sober. And I mean, I was laying there and I remember being like it took every ounce of me to try and and I couldn't move. And I was trying to get Sabre to help me. And I don't know, man. That was a wild
You won though.
Oh.
You fucking won.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
You're
here.
Yeah, you fucking won. I think there's something with me, but I don't think it's something bad. I think the same something that I saw when we were doing acid is probably the same something that was like, hey, focus on your game, not on what's going on around you whenever that shit was happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I think I have a guardian angel.
Yeah.
And it might be, I never met my grandpa. He got murdered before I was born. It might be him, you know?
I mean, why not?
Uncle Andy. I don't know. But
Spirit guide?
I definitely think I got a guardian
spirit guide
angel.
or a guardian angel?
But either one.
Yeah.
It could be both of them, right? They could just be always around you, somewhere close, just in case.
It's my boy. It's my boy.
So what's
appreciate you. For real.
Boy.
Nothing bad's ever happened, man. You know? I mean, that's cool. I definitely want to talk about that. So what do you think, are you religious or spiritual, or speak about spirit guides and stuff? How do you feel about
I'm very complex on that. I mean,
what do you think happens when we die?
I believe I go to heaven, but that's my heaven,
Everybody has their own personal
not
heaven.
your heaven.
Right.
And my God sure as fuck don't have enough time for your bullshit because he has to put up with mine. I have my own God. I have my own relationship with God. And if you're asking me, is it like, do I believe in Christianity or am I atheist or agnostic or anything like that? Dude, I wouldn't fucking made it through half the shit that I went through without my belief in God. And I know that there's a lot of people that, don't necessarily believe in God or Jesus or anything. And I don't knock that. That's cool for you. But what got me through the abuse when I was locked in the closet, all alone, and what I was told when I was put in that closet, that I was the son of the devil. And so I would pray to God. And through that praying and through that always knowing that I wasn't alone, and I would tell myself, I know they don't love me, but I know God loves me. That's the only person if there's one person that loves me in life, it's God. God loves me. And I would tell myself that. And that's what got me through everything, was my belief that, and I went through a lot of dumb, crazy shit that no fucking kid should ever have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And what got me through half of that was me telling myself, okay, yeah, they don't love me, but God loves me. So why would I turn my back on the God that was there for me when I needed him the most? As a child.
And I like that because whenever people bring up God, they're like, oh, Christianity. No, you believe in a higher power, and that higher power had your back.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You just call him God, and I fuck with that tough, man. I feel like I definitely believe in a higher power. I don't know what his name is.
Well, my higher power is the Christian God.
It is. So you believe in Christianity? Jesus died.
Yeah,
for
I do.
Cool.
But I don't.
I grew up Christian.
I don't believe in organized religion. Let me put that out there, 100%.
Right.
I do not believe in organized religion, and I can say that because I've been in organized religion, even as a kid, and a lot of crazy shit always happened. But my belief in God and my resolution with him is my own, that I fostered with him.
Right.
Even before I even knew what Christianity was.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean?
I understand.
And so, yeah, I mean, I have my own type. It's centered in Christianity, right? But my relationship with God is unlike anybody else's. I'm not saying that my relationship with God is greater than anybody else's. What I'm saying is that the God that has been built for me in this lifetime is for me.
When you get up there to the gates, he's gonna be looking at you, not everybody else.
No, right.
He's gonna be judged. I hate to say judging, because that's one of the reasons I don't like organized religion. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
organized. That's one of the reasons. It's too much judgment, too much. But when you get there, he's gonna be hands on your shoulders, like, come on in, my son. He's not. It doesn't give a fuck.
Don't worry about offending me at all with any kind of beliefs, because I'm not.
Deal.
I'm fully open to what other people believe. I'm fully open to what. Just my own shit is my own shit, and you don't have to believe what I believe. But I can feel what other people.
Right.
I can feel Muslims. I can feel Judaism.
I
can feel Buddhism.
It's all love.
Yeah, I can feel all that.
Even his brother-in-law, Kevin, what we're talking about, he's an atheist. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. But he believes in spreading love and being good to kind to others. Like, even he doesn't even believe in God, and he's still he's still preaching the same thing that people who do believe in God preach.
I'm not. That's people who want to be gay. They can be gay.
Thing.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Do your fucking thing. As long as you're doing it with adults.
People that want to get abortions,
do your thing.
Do your thing.
Right.
As long as they ain't on me,
right?
I don't have to sleep with it.
You're gonna
whether I agree with it or don't.
When you die, God's gonna put His hands on your shoulders and talk to you about your shit.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I 100% agree. I definitely believe in a higher power, man.
I mean, what do you believe after?
I grew up in church, and that shit made me more scared than
No, I feel it.
made me feel more scared than safe. Mm-hmm. You know, I've said it on here 100 times. They were like, if you kill anything, you're going to hell. I'm like, so if I step on a fucking bug, I'm gonna fucking go to hell.
It doesn't
like
work that way.
And so now that I'm older, I'm the same as you. I call it God, the universe. There's a higher power. And as long as I'm just being here doing good by people, I'm going to be good.
All right.
But I also believe that, I believe that we're going to come back. We keep coming back until we learn that lesson we're supposed to learn as a soul. That might be like what, Hindu or something. I believe in reincarnation.
Buddhism, and I believe in reincarnation as well.
Because when I, as a writer, as a storyteller, Jesus just sounds like a main character in a story to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think God's way more than that. I think the Bible's just another story.
Well, I mean, it's the greatest story of all, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a model,
right?
To me personally, it's just a model of the way that you should live your life.
Shit,
it's also a great story on what it means to be a man.
Oh man, I thought he was about to fucking get in my head again.
No, what I'm saying is, if we're not talking about Jesus in this moment. Well, if we're gonna just talk about the Bible, if we're gonna dissect it,
he's about to get in my head again. He's about to say exactly what I was about to say. Watch. So. I bet you are.
What it does is it follows the change of who you call God from the New Testament to the Old Testament and everything that happens in between there. And so you're watching the change of man, and from this hard, like, asshole, not giving a shit, like damnation, hellfire, brimstone, to this soft, loving, caring, loving.
Bro, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, right?
The First Testament, he's hard. He's hard. You know what I mean? And then he has his son, and his son softens his heart. And, bro, that's crazy. It makes you wonder who God's dad is, made him like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, well, damn, what made you that way? You know what I'm saying? But you literally just said what I was about to say. These shrooms, come here, bro. Yeah. We're here. Because the Old Testament, it's like you said, he's a hard dude, damnation, fucking locust. Yeah. All this shit. And then he has a kid, and that kid fucking softens his heart. It's crazy. It's about a father, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, great story. Yeah. But that's what it is to me. It's just another story. I think a lot of people take the Bible literally instead of looking at it as a bunch of amazing metaphors on how to live
and
life.
I'm with you on that.
Amazing metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Where you keeping this guy, bro? That's fucking great, because that's exactly how I feel, man. And I've talked about this I've talked about it on here, but not on episode that's been out yet. But I don't give a fuck. This girl that I used to talk to, I've talked to her for years. I've known her for like almost a decade. I don't know if you ever met her, E. She's a ASI chick. She reaches out to me. She was always super religious, but now she's like super God. And she was like, how are you with Jesus? And I told her pretty much exactly what I'm telling you. And she was like, that's wrong. My nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, that hoe jams.
That's my boy.
I don't give a fuck how offended people are. That shit jams, and that grandma.
They did that with their heart, bro.
That grandma murder. Have you seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh man, we're gonna show
What
you.
is it? What is it, Tom?
Jesus Christ is my nigga.
Oh yeah, bro. I did see that shit.
So she
that was real too.
That hoe was dope, and that grandma
they went
bars.
hard.
So she was like, pretty much like, yeah, what you're saying, because I said the same thing. All the religions are saying the same thing. She said, yeah, they're all saying the same thing, but there's one God, there's one Jesus, and I pray for your soul. Pretty much, you're going to hell. I'm like, God damn. And my whole thing
harsh.
My whole thing is so. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, go ahead. But I do want to come back.
Okay. My whole thing is because I don't believe in your God, I'm going to hell. But if I murder, rape, do all these fucked up things, but I believe in your God, does that mean I'm going to heaven? That's fucking backwards to me.
Right.
That's fucking backwards to me.
Right.
Like I should just, because that's what Jesus, in my opinion, from what I've read, because I grew up Christianity, and even in the American Gods thing that we read.
I love American Gods.
Have you read the book though?
Didn't read the book. I did watch the show.
In the book,
the show.
At the end of the book, Neil Gaiman comes on and he's like, "I took this out of the book because it didn't fit." Did they have that part in the show when he's on the tree?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they did.
So
The
he
tree of
talks.
life?
He talks to Jesus, right? He has a conversation with Jesus, but Neil Gaiman didn't put it in the book. It didn't fit, but he gives it to the viewer or to the reader at the end of it, like a little excerpt,
Side
little
note,
extra
yeah.
thing. And Jesus was a bro. He was just a fucking bro.
He was making wine and shit.
He was making wine. He had a fucking baseball cap on. He was like, I love the other gods. They take the fucking heat off of me. You know what I'm saying? He was a fucking bro.
Such a great book.
And I think, yeah, man, if you haven't read American Gods, definitely check that shit out. But where was I going with that? Jesus was all fucking spread love,
Right.
and fucking have sex, spread your seed. That's what I've gathered.
But who did he hang out with? Did he hang out?
He was hanging out with the horse.
He was washing the feet of the motherfuckers in the bar.
Mm-hmm. And he was hanging out with the horse.
White collar motherfucker, you know.
He was hanging out with the
Fucking
horse,
horse.
bro. He was
Listen
fucking.
over
He was fucking helping the people
Hey, y'all
who
call
were.
him Jesus. I call him Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole thing. I'm like, I didn't tell her this. I was like, thank you for caring about my soul, because that's a different level of love. You know, because I love this girl. I hope she
Right.
hears this one day. I have so much love for this woman, but I let it go. I just bit my tongue. I was like, thank you for caring about my soul. But that shit really fucked me up. I was like, damn, I'm going to hell because I don't believe in what you believe in. That's some fucking Al Qaeda shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
Isn't that
some
wild, though?
infidel. You don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's fucking.
Deep, though, for some people, it's just something they can put their.
I'm gonna post this little part right here. I hope she fucking hears it.
What do they call it? Your fucking,
Clip that shit.
Your identity.
Yeah,
Some
it's her whole
people, they
idea.
need to fucking go all in or whatever. If she could have felt
That's
the same
my
way
sister.
about, you know, anything. It could have been work. She could have just been all about if you don't work, you
Like we weren't sitting butt naked exactly where he's sitting playing
But-
Super Nintendo. You know what I'm saying?
What I can say, my sister, she's
Right
hardcore.
there, bro. Is it still like moist right there?
that beer made it.
Yeah.
Fucking right here, dog. I'm like,
My sister's like that chick you're talking about. And she is hardcore. And but the cool thing is that she doesn't. She knows. Like I have my own path. Like my path doesn't have to be her path. And it took her a long time to get there because she judged me. I felt. I'm speaking on my feelings. I'm not going to project anybody else's feelings. You know, I felt like I was judged by her on the way that I walked my path. And then I think she's come to realize that, you know, being around me. Now, this is the same sister I met when I was 16. So when I met my dad, I also met my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Cool fucking chick. I love her to death. But we are two different fucking people in our core. But I think that's what's real special between us. But, you know, that's her. She's real Christian. And we have that same conversation all the time. But she doesn't damn me to hell or anything, you know. But
Bro, I probably still have the message, man. She was just like, God rest your soul. And I was like, you know what? Only my mom and like my grandma care about my soul. Like that's a different level of love. But
yeah,
like we'll never be able to be a thing because I don't believe in what you believe in. And that's stupid because we could have been happy together.
but y'all don't have to believe in the same thing to be with
I
someone.
100% agree with you, but
You can believe whatever you want to believe.
I 100% agree with you.
And I'll support you on it.
And that's another
Hell,
reason.
I might even go to church. I mean, I'm not going
I'll
to church
go-
for God. I'm going to church for you, girl. You
Exactly.
know, like,
And
that's what you want.
that's one of the reasons we stopped talking. Bro, I've messed with this girl since my first apartment, E. And that's one of the reasons we stopped talking. She was like, I think you're going to get in my way with Jesus. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm not.
Fuck that.
I'm not. I was like, I'm down to have Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the third wheel. Fuck it.
Yeah, man,
like, I'm just,
fuck, dude.
I just like your company.
I can get inside you just like this Holy Spirit.
I just like your company. And like you said, I'll go to, and that's one of the reasons another relationship of mine failed.
What a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity to get to know somebody.
Oh man,
Based on a fucking, on a judgment like that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But now that's how I feel. I'm like, I'll go to church with you.
But isn't
That's
that
how
the
it makes you
world
feel
all
good.
over? I mean, let's just take out the fundamental of it, which is religion. But it feels like human beings always try to find a way or a stigma or anything to keep them separate from other people instead of like accepting that we're all one.
Right.
And that we're all human and that we should all have compassion and empathy for one another.
Right.
But we all, like, I don't know if it's childhood trauma like we were talking about or psychology. We put up these fucking walls and these barriers and these
I don't
imaginary
deserve it.
lines.
I don't deserve it.
Right. Like, no, fuck that. You know, like, yeah.
We could have been beautiful. But that's fine. And that wasn't meant to be with her. It wasn't meant to be. And I wish her well. And if she ever wants to hang out, I'm so down. But I'm going to keep doing me. You know how I know?
Just play Slayer when she comes through.
You know how I know?
He's got fucking Pokemon at the end of the day. Fuck that bitch.
Exactly. You know how I know I'm good with whoever's up there? I got a house. I got people who love the fuck out of me. I got this podcast and it's going well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got my creativity. I feel like if God or whoever turned their back on me, I wouldn't have all these things.
He gave you the spark.
Exactly.
You built all this.
Exactly.
But he gave you the spark to build upon.
If he turned
If we're talking in that, if we're going to talk in that nature,
right,
you know what I mean.
right.
If we're going to talk,
and he could have turned his back on me, and I could have lost that spark. You know what I mean? And I don't think he has. I think he has a lot more in store for me. He or she.
Yeah,
I think they have a lot more in store for me. You know what I mean? And
I can
the
invest in that.
lucky lady I decided to share that with is gonna feel all that.
I can invest in that for sure.
Fucking world, bro. I really believe in a multiverse, and I feel like I've tapped into it. I feel like I feel like those dreams that you have, those crazy fucking surreal dreams are memories. I've had dreams where I've been surrounded by people I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck you are, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because whoever...
You have like a whole fucking storyline for the character in your fucking dream.
Yeah.
What's up with that shit?
Yeah, dude, I definitely
But do you dream where you're like, where you don't even exist? Like you're completely like...
I dream...
Is that
I dream
normal?
first person. Is that not something that happens? Does that never happen to y'all?
No, what I'm asking you is like, in my dreams, a lot of times, this reality doesn't exist and I don't exist. I'm not like, what I am here in the dream state isn't even existent. Like I'm completely someone fucking different.
Right.
On a different plane in a different light.
Right.
So that's normal, right?
That's what
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not
and I feel like
some
that's
fucked up
you. I
motherfucker.
feel like that's you tapping into another you, somewhere in time or in space.
No, I mean I could.
I think that's you.
Why
tapping
not?
into
That
you.
would make sense.
And have you ever had that experience? You ever had a first person dream where you're like, who the fuck are these fucking people? But
First person dreams, I had third person dreams. I have dreams where I'm watching a movie of myself, or I'm watching a movie with someone else, which is fucking weird because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's just,
Or what about a dream where you know you're dreaming, and in your dream you're like, I'm laying in bed and I like can envision everything in my room exactly where I'm at. And I'm like, this isn't none of this. This is all just a dream. Like I'm in my bed right now with my wife.
every time you talk about lucid dreaming.
Yeah, lucid dreaming.
Every
yeah.
time I've realized I'm dreaming, I wake up. I'm like, fuck. I could have so much fun.
There's been a couple of times where I didn't wake up, but yeah, most of the time, yeah, like
I definitely. I believe in like astral projecting, but that shit scares the fuck out of me. I don't think anyone should do
practiced
it.
like a motherfucker.
I don't.
So when
bro,
I was
stay
a kid,
here, bro.
No, when I was a kid, I tried so hard. I went to this, shout out to this old website. I don't know. No one may have heard of it. No, it's called
Newgrounds.
It's called Totes. It's called Totes.com. TOTES. Totes.com. Right. But whenever I was a kid, it's different when y'all were kind of a kid. Because, man, I got a little bit of years on you, but in internet years, big fucking difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're talking about dial-up AOL Messenger bullshit.
Right.
Yahoo.
I got it at the end of that.
Yeah. You know, so, but yeah, I studied up like hardcore, like how to astral project, and I tried.
Stay here.
I never accomplished
Good, because I feel like when you do that, you're an empty shell, and anything could fucking come back in. I feel like, and I'm not trying to make excuses for the people who have done horrible things, but you've heard those cases where they're like, "That wasn't me. I didn't do it." I believe those people
because you worry about that shit.
Like, that's why I don't do it. I remember one time me and John were tripping balls. Just me and him, like 5-6 grams in, talking about crazy shit. Talking about if a demon showed up right now, I would hug him because I know how much he's hurting. Type crazy shit. And I'm sitting here making this nigga a tuna sandwich. I've been sitting here taking I'm making this nigga a tuna sandwich just for shits and giggles. He fell asleep, right? I'll make my nigga a sandwich. I made him a sandwich, and I'm like, "Hey, John," because he's a light sleeper. If we go down in this room right now and do anything, he'll, you know what I'm saying? Light sleeper. I'm like, "Hey, John, what the fuck?" I walk over there, John, shake him. He's not waking up. John, and he's like, "Whoa, what?" And he's like, "Man, I was fucking with my sister. I was checking on everybody." I was like, "Bro, stay the fuck here, bro." I was like, "Cause you know that shit scares
John." If we're gonna be clear, John is. I know John, right? He's the one, I just want to make sure we're talking about the same person.
Yeah. That dude. Hey,
I like John.
I think he's.
Cool guy.
I think he's a medium. I think
I
think he's very spiritual.
He's large.
I think he's very in tune with the spirituality shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I kept making him a sandwich and he kept falling asleep and I was like, "No. Wake up, bro. You're not allowed to leave me." I don't fuck with astral projection, bro. That shit scares the shit out of me because like I said, you're an open shell and anything. Or you might get lost out there.
But there has to be science behind it. I mean, it's even like CIA.
I believe it's real.
Documentation.
It's
you know
real.
what I'm talking about?
It's real. I just don't fuck with it.
No, have y'all seen the CIA documents?
Is that when they tell somebody to go spy on something and see what's going on? Yeah, I've heard about
MK Ultra.
Yeah. The Men Who Stare at Ghosts, dog. They made a movie
that shit's fake.
Cloud bursting, bro.
They were just on a bunch of acid.
They're going hard, son.
Kevin Spacey was sitting over him with the red light. Have you seen that movie? That's a good fucking movie.
So.
Bro.
What's it called?
The Men Who Stare at Ghosts. Really, the best part of the scene is the last like 20 minutes. They get the whole. Yeah, Ewan McGregor, George Clooney, Kevin Spacey.
Hey, what a fucking solid cast! I haven't seen that fucking movie.
And the dude's in it.
How have I not seen that? Or maybe I haven't. I don't recall.
So at the end of the movie, they put shrooms in the powdered eggs. Acid in the powdered eggs in the water. The entire army base is tripping balls, driving around in tanks. Dudes fucking laying down looking at scorpions and shit.
I think something like that really happened in real life.
It's based on a true story. The movie's based on a true story.
That's why. Yeah, I've heard that shit.
The movie's based on a true story.
And the guy who killed himself, shit that they did.
That's what it's about. Kevin Spacey drove him to do that because he had the lights over him and he made him think.
And he jumped out the fucking window.
Yeah, that shit happened. But I don't fuck with
astral
astral
projection.
projection.
I know that whole storyline, but
they made it a comedy though.
Okay.
They didn't. It wasn't super dark. I don't fuck with astral projection, bro. That's one if you want to practice psychic abilities, that's cool, but that's the most dangerous one. Because you're unless you got some kind of circle around you that's gonna
or something.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna keep your body safe.
I've heard that you can one of the dangers is when you astral project is that you might not be able to find your body.
Right.
Like, come back.
I've heard that too. But I think you need to have some kind of protective circle around you so something can't go into your body.
Fucking salt, son.
Yeah, no, that shit's real. That shit's fucking real. The salt circles and shit.
Yeah.
That shit. I watch Supernatural.
So I'll be chilling, bro.
It's because it's
nowhere.
it's because I'm not gonna say I research it, but I read a lot of fiction, and I think a lot of fiction isn't fiction. You get what I'm trying to say?
No, yeah.
I think a lot
Well,
of
it
this
derives
shit,
from, if we're going to go down, like, it all derives from something right?
real. Exactly. So I've watched Supernatural. I've read the Dresden Files, and
You ever seen Unsolved Mysteries?
yeah. I believe in the supernatural shit. I believe in supernatural shit. I believe there's women out there that practice witchcraft. I think I fucked a couple. But
now witchcraft is fucking real.
oh, it's definitely
I
real.
was gonna say witchcraft isn't.
Even and men, Wiccans are real too. Men can practice that shit too. Yeah.
You're a wizard, Harry.
No, I'm not.
Wiccan and wizards are two.
And I'm not talking about like.
Wizards is like magic and shit. Witchcraft is
Yeah, I'm talking about witchcraft.
Yeah.
You know, spellcraft more than anything. Not I had like fucking zero experience in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have, you know. I mean, I've known some people that claim this or this or that, but who am I to doubt that isn't like a legit fucking thing? You know, like, there would.
the place I got this
Surprising.
necklace from. It's like a little
Is that
creativity.
Reiki? Is that like a Reiki necklace? Or?
I don't know what it. Actually, your sister sold me this. His sister, she used to work at that shop. I told her I need some stones for creativity, and she gave me these 2 stones, put them in a cage for me, and I wear these while I
So
write.
it's like Reiki.
So
you don't know what, do you know
at
what
that
Reiki
place,
is?
I don't.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
What is it?
Well, no, I don't.
I got the
I
story.
know very little about
Got
Reiki,
you.
but it has something to do. It's like some spiritual. It has to do a lot with like stones,
Stones and crystals. I got a bunch. That girl that I fucked with
intention.
bought me a bunch of. I got a bunch of crystals
Right.
over there and shit.
And then it has something to do with like intention with your movements and your words and it creating reality.
yeah,
You know,
that's exactly what these are.
Nah, I could be fucking
No,
totally
you're-
wrong, but I think that's somewhere around there.
So, actually, I had a supernatural experience at this shop, and it was crazy. Before I get into the witch, I'll tell you the witch story. One time I was in there, and I'm like asking questions, and that's one kind of person I am. I ask a fuck ton of questions and shit.
Can you give me a location real quick?
Location? It's in Old Town Spring.
Oh, fuck, I fucking knew it. You started talking, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I was envisioning
It's
Old
a
Town
stone shop in
Spring.
Old Town Spring.
I was
Yeah.
envisioning Old Town Spring in my head when you were talking.
So because I was
That
sending
fucking
it to
place.
you, dog.
That
We're
place.
here.
Yeah.
We're here. So I'm in there, and this lady comes in there, and she gets like this. She gets all this shit, buys her shit, leaves, right? And the lady that I was talking to was like, she's a witch. She came in here. She knew exactly what she needed to get and shit for her next spell. I was like, that's crazy. What the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Just asking fucking questions and shit.
How many incense for $1?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of so.
They do have some shit to smell.
So I brought my homegirl in there. This different chick that I've known since I was a kid from back in D.C. You met her. You met Ebony. I brought her in there. You met Ebony, bro. I brought her to your sister's house. See, we have a sister. We have a picture with your daughter.
He's like, bitch, don't be dragging me into this shit.
So we.
Is she a witch? I don't know.
No, not her. I just had brought her there because she wanted to get a bunch of incense and stuff.
Yeah.
So while she's shopping, I'm in the back room looking at crystals and shit. I'm like, man, this is cool. And I'm reading something and I feel somebody walk up behind me. And she got close, so I thought it was her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh,
Right.
check this out, blah, 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 blah. I turn around. It's always on my fucking left. I just realized that. It's always behind me on the left.
Do you think that was the same thing, or do you think it was something different?
I think it was something that's there. So check this out. I was like, hey, check this out, blah, 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 blah. I turned around. There was nobody fucking there. I was talking to myself, right? I was like, okay, that was weird. And then my homegirl walks in like, who are you talking to? I was like, don't worry about it. We're ringing out and shit. And the girl brings up, yeah, this place is haunted. There's a spirit walking around,
There it
especially
is.
in the back room. And I was like, holy fuck. I was just back there. I just felt that shit. It was nothing bad though. It was nothing bad. She was just walking up on me, seeing what the fuck
What's
I was
up,
doing.
baby?
Yeah, probably slap my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was nothing bad, man. And I feel like if I had something bad hanging around me, bad things would happen. But man, it's all love in my life, man.
Yeah.
All love, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
the
a
good,
fucking
the good
hater
comes with the
sometimes.
bad, and the bad comes with the good. But nothing's been horrible.
So I definitely believe in the supernatural, man. I believe in aliens. I believe.
I mean, what's up with my shirt, bro?
Your shirt's sick. Is that Sasquatch under UFOs?
And then you see the alien.
Oh, I
here
didn't
with
see the little
fucking
dude.
deucing it out.
Hell
There's
yeah.
a theory that Sasquatch is an alien.
Oh yeah, interdimensional.
Yeah,
he's an interdimensional being.
He fucking travels planes.
That's dope.
Shit, yeah.
You think he tries to show himself to people when they
I
freak
think-
out and
I
then he
think
dips?
I think it's
Show yourself
more-
to me. I'm going to hug you.
I think it's more they catch him when he's in between. Like, maybe Earth is just like the fucking escalator to the next fucking train.
It's
you
like,
know
the,
what I'm saying?
it's like the truck stop.
Yeah, I should say the fucking
You know what I'm saying? He's at a metro bus stop. He's trying to get to Acres Homes.
just a dirty ass fucking bathroom on your way home,
Bro, I'm
son.
telling you, if any aliens pick up on this broadcast, come see me before you go see the wrong Earthling, bro. Because there's going to be an Earthling you're going to meet, and he's going to be like, oh, blow this bitch up. But if he meets like me or you, you'll probably freak out. I feel like you'll freak out and shoot that motherfucker.
Fuck out my house.
Look at his fucking sage.
I feel like I'd be the one like, what do you want?
That's his
bro?
answer for everything. Sage.
What do you want,
In the
bro?
house, dog, put your rosaries up, holy water.
What do you want from me? And he'll be like, I just want your plug.
I don't fuck with new people, dog.
You
Have
wouldn't
you
fuck
ever
with
had-
if Sasquatch was
tell
like,
him.
hey, bro.
I was letting you probably get better weed than us.
Have you ever had it extraterrestrial or like?
One time.
Now
One time, you just unlocked the memory. It might be the shrooms that we took, too.
Oh yeah, I mean you're firing on all cylinders.
One
right?
time, it was me and my boy Matt. We were in my boy Matt's. This is in D.C., different Matt. Me, my boy Matt, my boy Ian, right? And we're sitting. He had a back, like, we had basements. This is in the East Coast. So we had a basement.
So
The moonlight's coming in through his back door. There's no blinds or anything. And me and this dude are fucking chilling, watching TV. It's like 4 a.m. And, you know, the moonlight, you can see all the shadows and shit, right? And we just see like 2 heads walk up, look in the window, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who is that? Right? Thinking somebody's there. And we turn around, they dart off. I didn't, you know, I'm not, no offense, I'm not white. So we didn't go investigate. We didn't go investigate.
I'm like, what's that shit?
But I just looked at my boy and I was like, did you see that? And he said, I saw it. And as soon as we looked, they fucking dipped out. That's the, I don't know what that
That
was.
was 2 motherfuckers about to rob you. And
Maybe.
like, oh, shit, it's 2 of them.
Maybe, but their heads were a little too oval, bro. Unless they had hoods on.
Did John ever tell you the story?
That's
about
that's a
fucking-
first kind of experience.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Oh shit! No, I'm just kidding. It's probably my roommate.
Hey, so I was. Did John? I feel like John probably told you.
I'm not on the
So-
pod.
Not on the pod.
Actually,
Here, let me. Hey, can I run out to my truck real quick?
for sure.
Is
For
that
sure.
okay?
Yeah. Tell the story.
Or I
E.
just,
Do I need to?
Just give him the mic.
a cigarette or some shit.
Yeah, I'll hold the mic, bro.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Am I
So,
fucking your shit up?
No, you're good, bro.
I need to.
Do you know your way out?
Yeah.
I need to fucking sit somewhere with the back, bro. My back's been fucking killing
Should
me.
have pulled the desk chair out.
I didn't want to fuck with nothing right there when y'all were talking. Nah, so it's me and John in his house, at his old house. And I don't know who bought them, but we had a pack of fucking swishes with the fucking, the plastic tip. They look like Black and Milds, but they're swishes. And me and John were like, fuck it, we'll just crack it all the way down, dump it out, and leave the plastic tip on. I think we smoked like maybe 2 or 3 of them hoes. And when me and John smoked, we smoked till our fingers burn. You know what I'm saying? And I was eventually smoking fuck plastic, dog. That's my excuse for what I saw. That's what I was like. I got a fume, and I was like, oh,
Why you
fuck.
gotta make an excuse, man?
Because of what
you saw.
Nah, because what I saw, and you could tell. John will tell you, bro. I was tripping, bro. I was like, nah, I don't like that shit.
John didn't see it.
I don't think he did, but he
okay.
believed me. He goes, oh, fuck it, bro. Let's go inside. So we're sitting in the dark, playing music, passing that bitch back and forth, just really not talking. We go shit.
You can lean back. Your brother fixed it.
Okay, we got into one of them. We just chilling, not talking, just pass the whole back and forth.
That whole comfy, huh?
Hell yeah, dog. I feel shit, dog. I was sitting on that fucking Chewy. I was like, damn, I'm trying to get comfy and shit.
Damn, you flat.
I flattened that motherfucker. Poor Chewy, like, damn. Nah, so I started seeing these fucking little, like, they look like zombie heads on his fence, bro, and they were all turning and looking all
like peeking over.
Yeah, like a bunch of them, like almost everywhere I was looking along the fence. It was
y'all smoking salvia?
No, bro.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it had to be the plastic. We smoked it to the plastic tip, and we didn't even realize. We just that shit's strong, you know what I'm saying? Not even knowing. And I'm telling you, I was like, hey, dog, I'm fucking seeing shit, bro. I'm seeing little heads pop up. What the fuck? And we ended up like, oh fuck, that's what we clicked in our heads. But what you said, it's kind of like what I saw, but me and John didn't see it from what I remember. And he was like, fuck, I believe you, dog. Let's go inside. We went inside and chilled and shit. But it was still.
How was it late at night?
It was dark. It was late. No lights were on in the backyard, and it was just me and him. And we were just sitting, fucking not talking, bro. Just passing the sweet back and forth. And I told him, hey, dog, I'm tripping, bro. I just seen some shit. And he was like, dog, I fucking believe you. Let's go. Like, let's dip.
Someone was detected at your front door.
But I will say that it's a funny story to tell, but during that time I was fucking scared, bro. I was like, what the fuck? You can't explain it, and it wasn't making sense. I had to smoke some more to calm down.
It was real to you.
It was still is, dog. I know what I saw.
That shit scared the fuck out of me because there was nothing there and then there was something there. Was it Ian? I think Matt was asleep and it was just me and Ian. And
I always wanted to smoke in the basement.
It was dope. Well, we weren't smoking, bro. We were like 12.
Oh shit.
We were young, bro. We were just been having a sleepover, dog.
What? Fuck. You know what I noticed? And I don't mean to call you out in the middle of this shit. You ain't been playing nothing on TV.
Oh yeah, nah.
But
I mean, it's a distraction.
I don't know if it's really fake or not, but your fucking neighbors have like a government compound over there with all them goddamn lights.
What's your neighbor?
This neighbor, like, I don't know.
Right here?
probably his house.
Like, right over here.
Where you park?
The whole shit's all lit up all the way around their fucking house. Like,
He's cool people. Man.
sorry about that.
No, you're good. I definitely. Have you ever had any alien experiences?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, not alien. I don't know what the fuck it was, but of all places, when my wife's grandfather owns a dairy. Well, he's passed away since, but he owned a dairy in Roswell, New Mexico.
Roswell. I've heard some shit goes down in Roswell.
Of all fucking places. Now,
Roswell in Alaska.
let me preface with saying that I've always been interested in like watch shit and been like all cool with that stuff. My wife not so much. You know, she don't really give a shit about none of that. One night we were going to what's it called? They have like this like 2-mile hike underground that you can go out there in New Mexico. I don't remember what it's called. It's the caverns, Carlsbad Caverns. So we went. We got some cameras back in the day. We had a little roll camera. You didn't have your phone and shit. Mm-hmm. It was funny because we were driving down the road, and I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, grab one of them cameras. Something crazy might happen when we take a picture." And anyways, we were driving down the road, and I see like this blue light, the blue-white searing light. Like it didn't fly. It was like that.
And it was pulsing?
It was a pulse. And it was like it came out of the ground.
Okay.
Let me say that. So it was like it came out of the fucking ground and in the distance. And so I seen it, the first pulse, and I didn't say anything. I like seen it and I kept driving. I was like, what the fuck was that? And then it did it again, but this time it was like as high as like a 2-story house. And at that time, said to my wife, I'm like, yo, babe, are you fucking seeing what I'm seeing? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, I don't. And in the middle of that conversation, it did it again. But at this point, it was like a lot higher. And I had pulled because I was driving like kind of towards it. It was kind of off like this. And about that time, I got about even with it almost where the light was kind of pulsing. And so I pulled over, like a white boy.
Right. You investigated.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Black people don't investigate, bro.
I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Come on, gang, let's go solve this mystery.
And mind you saying I was sober and my wife, she was 9 months pregnant and she was sober. And then I also had my oldest son with me. And he was like 2 or 3. And I had the window down, so I kind of like did like this number, and right about that time, this thing came over the car. Like the whole car was lit up, and whenever you look up, it was like the only thing I can describe the color was like hot magma, like lava.
Hot magma.
Yeah, it was like orange and yellow and red and like fucking all the colors. And so, but it was in a shape. So it was like, if you could imagine the shape of a triangle, because it was all black, but what you see is there was like on each corner where the triangle would be, there was like this big circle. And then in the middle of the big circle, there's like a little circle on each point. And then there was a line that went through, and it would dissect the large circle, but not the small circle. So, and all this was really fucking fast, though. So, seeing that, and then the next thing, it was fucking gone. Just gone. And we were both sitting there like, what the fuck? There was no loss of time.
I'm just glad that someone was there to see the shit.
Right.
That's what I'm always glad. Like, did you see that? Yes. Okay, I'm not crazy.
But, I mean, I could
You're
draw
probably
the
crazy.
design. Yeah.
I ain't denying it.
I believe you, bro. I fucking
John was
believe
like,
you.
man, fuck it, dog. Let's go inside.
I believe, man. We're not alone, man. Can't be.
No, I mean,
Whether it's spiritual or
I'm not saying
aliens or
that was extraterrestrial.
mm-hmm.
I don't know what
It
the
was just
fuck
something.
it was.
It was something
Something I've
different.
never seen. One, I would like to say that it flew off real fast, but I don't even know that. It just disappeared.
It could have.
So I don't know if it was so fast that it flew away and I didn't see it anymore, or
I've been.
it just straight fucking disappeared. I don't know what the fuck it was.
I just finished this book. The fuck was it called? Mirror World. Good book. Jeremy Robinson's the shit.
Repeat it again.
Jeremy Robinson. He's the author.
No,
the book
the
is
name of-
called Mirror World.
Mirror.
Mirror. Yeah. So pretty much the premise is like right here, right now. Well, you've seen Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The upside down. Right here, right now. There's another dimension. We just can't. You know what I'm saying?
Like deja vu, you know.
Or no. What's another example? I can't think of another example.
No.
Right-
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. So there's another dimension, and even beyond that, there's more dimensions, and beyond that, like we're all on top of each other pretty much, all these dimensions and shit, and that could have just been something popping in and popping out. You know what I mean?
Like a fucking glitch.
Yeah, the
Yeah, no
fucking
doubt.
Matrix, man.
Who fucking knows?
Just like that fucking kid on that scooter.
I'm just wondering why I only had one sock. Like,
Yeah, he only had
what
one
does
shoe
that
on.
mean?
One shoe on. walking
Motorized
around.
scooter, but he's pushing it.
Oh,
While walking
I didn't
a
even
dog.
fucking catch that when you told the story.
Why are you fucking use the motor?
Dumbass.
He had like a Vince Young jersey. It was all off, bro. And it was all off.
Back more, think about it. That might have been like an NPC, bro. You
Right.
mentioned-
That shit was fucking
Like off
weird.
Of Rick and Morty when he was like, my man, and he's the
Right.
fucking mailman, and he ends up in the middle of the tree.
just glitching, and we could see it. Man, that shit was nuts.
Wow.
Wow, man, we talked about a bunch of crazy shit, man.
We got really
how long do you
deep.
think we went for? Did you see?
No, I haven't seen it all. I'm gonna feel like I've been here for about 2 hours.
We went for 2 hours and 24 minutes.
I mean, I feel like we gone really deep,
I'm glad.
but we ain't even scratched the surface.
Man, you can come back on here whenever you
Do you
want.
know what I mean?
That was my first time doing it on shrooms, doing a pod on shrooms. That
Oh,
was
you
fun.
never done that much? Oh, cool,
Yeah,
bro.
that shit was dope.
I'm glad I was here for that. That's really awesome, man.
That was fucking fun, man.
Yeah.
That was fucking fun. We were on fucking point, bro. You kept fucking reading my mind. That you really blew my mind with that.
Can I say I feel like a small child in this fucking chair.
That's
And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm like,
Good thing, bro.
That's my grandma's soul chair.
It's a comfortable chair.
oh,
It's got some
man.
good energy in it, man. Family
feel
energy in it. Hell yeah.
I feel very comfortable.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, bro. This
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. You are always welcome to come on here.
We need to do another one.
Fuck yeah, we have a little threesome.